top of the morning to you, laddies. It's me, your favorite homeless guy, and I'm out here in the woods. And guess what? It's fucking cold. And you know what I have to do? I have to prepare. Because thank God for that fucking rainstorm that was 50 degrees and lasted for about, I don't know, 12 to 15 hours, that wiped all the snow away and put a bunch of fucking rust on my goddamn wood stove. We're about to have even way more snow than we had before. That was just the first wave. Now we're about to get a foot to a foot and a half in the next 2 weeks, probably. I know we're getting 3 days of snow. And I don't really take kindly to the snow around these parts. Because it buries me and my tent collapses and I can't do anything and I don't have a tent stove, so I'm in the freezing cold. And everybody tells me what to do with my life like they understand how I feel. So, I've already done a pleroma. I'm from the pleroma. I've already done a preliminary little clean where I got my bed a bit better than it was before. But it's still fucking freezing. I've got, for the rest of the week to last me, I've got some protein bars. Or the rest of the month, I've got some protein bars. So I won't go hungry. If I want a little snack or two, I'll have 2 fucking 20 gram of protein Hot Pockets. Lad. And I've got this and this, and my toilet paper's got cold and frozen, so I've been thawing them. Putting them over there. I got my muck boots. I've got a frozen full thing of pulled fucking pork. Quiet piggy. I've got this, which is dead. I've got this, which is empty. I've got this, which is empty. I've got this, which has actually, it does have a hot hand in it. You know what? I might actually need that right about now, because it's fucking freezing. So we're doing that real quick. Every time I go back to my face, I have to put the flash on, and then I have to angle it so you can see me beautiful face. I've got to do shit like this, fam. So it's fucking freezing, and it's the first day of Capricorn, and you know what I'm gonna do? We have to go assess the possible damages. We're gonna go walk around my property. Because this is my property. If you come into my tent, you're violating my 4th Amendment right, you sick, sadistic, rapey pieces of shit. Not the Randolph police. They haven't done anything to me. I don't know about the other people. Bob did say he is a prejudice and it works. He said that profiling people based on works. Why does it work? Because people that can't take care of themselves probably have PTSD. Which means that they're suffering. And which means that they're looking for an escape. And some of those escapes the U.S. government has deemed illegal because it may make them real. It may make them see the truth. And they would escape society. And when you escape society, the demonic puppets puppeting us get upset. So, very quickly, I'm going to teach you what a monitoring spirit is, okay? So the devil places people in your life knowing that in the electromagnetic spectrum or in spirit, people through relationships have interactions between them in a field that we haven't been taught to recognize. So what the devil does is he takes people that are addicts. He takes people that don't believe in it. He takes people that are not functioning. Even if they're functioning like they have a job and they have a reputation, they're part of the community, they're not functioning in a sense that they've cut themselves off from spirit. They're spiritually dead inside, and they survive off the harvesting of others' emotions. And they convert that by stealing from others into a disgusting homunculus that then they try to puppet and express. And that's their ego. So, God and the devil will put these people in your life, and because of chosen ones or people with empathy and humility that force themselves to become naive so that they don't have to sit in the suffering, it's just easier to be an innocent child, they will send the monitoring spirits back, and they'll think that they're good for you, but really what they're doing is their entire purpose is just to gain your trust, belittle you, destroy your dreams, covertly attack you, to enmesh themselves as much as possible. And then once they've harvested you, they make an exit and they hold themselves out. So now while they're floating there, in the distance, in your electromagnetic energy, in your energy, they've now tried to convert you into a siphoning farm machine, and they're trying to hold their power over you. That's why Casey keeps getting people that come into his life to help him. And then the more they stay in his presence, the more insane they do. And then they self-sabotage to a point where Casey has to escape back into the wilderness to survive. Then they lock their doors and they hoard the power in the space. It was a trap. Mr. Crow was a trap. And then Casey transformed and went to the top of the hill where Chandler is. And then he had to battle. He's a warrior, man. So, now that my hand warmer has been activated, the only way to defeat monitoring spirits is to have such perseverant focus, at least as a Sagittarius. You have to outrun them. And the biggest lesson I've learned is to never share your goals with anybody but God. The only person you should be speaking your goals to is God. The problem was, okay, this is cold. So what I'm going to try to do, let's go outside first. I'm out of cigarettes, which sucks. But I made, so far, we're at $555 on my GoFundMe, which is $1,500 short of a car, and then I can mosey on with my life. I've been kicking my trash around. The plan is, when the spring comes, I come here with a poker and a carpenter's bag, and then I get all this really easily. But just trying to pick it up, and it's cold, and it snows, and then it thaws. Not great. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with these sleeping bags. This is my toilet. I don't use. This is my sheath for my machete, and I can't find my machete. I don't know what happened to it. It's in here somewhere. Buried like the thing in Black Ops 2. This is my coat from last year, which I don't need anymore because I've upgraded. You know, I'm like a level 10 homeless man now. And you guys aren't even level 0. What are you doing with your life? Don't you know this is the future? You will own nothing and be happy. What do you think that means? So, that's a full propane tank I don't use. But I found a hammer. I had a hammer in my old shit that I got from Morrisville. I've got my tomahawk. And I'm thinking, this one night I woke up puking. I woke up throwing up, and I threw up all over this. And I haven't been able to wash it off. Also, this looks nice, but I'm pretty sure that all these spots are black mold. Inspecting them has shown me that there's a lot of things that look a bit concerning with this. You feel me? You picking up what I'm putting down? So I'm thinking I'm gonna have to buy some bleach and just like do a thin stream of bleach across the top and on each side. Try to be really conservative and bleach all of this. Yeah, we're in a Truman Show. So basically, this is all a holographic simulation, and outside of us is the infinite. The sun and the moon are holes to the infinite. So on the other side of reality is just pure infinite light. And this is just like a simulated holographic reality made of the Higgs boson. It's a collective hallucination, or a digital 10110, 1010110, but just over and over and over and over again, condensing into these stuff. So at any point, yeah, it's proof. Look up the Higgs boson, quantum physics. If they're lying, you know, because we don't know quantum physics, but if they're not lying and string theory is real, then yes, this is created by a creator, and we're in something. So, like the natives, if you go to any native tribe, they'll tell you that their ancestors are the star people. And they came down, every single culture has stories of their creation being from some form of spacefaring race of beings that seemed more advanced and evolved than us, however you want to say it. But the true thing is that through Saturn or Black Rock or the eye at the top of the pyramid or the eye at the top of Saturn or the cube inside the Star of David, the Christian cross folded up into a cube, or Mecca that the Islam worship, there is a box that we're in, and the box that we're in is our programming to keep us from the realization that we are co-creators of this experience, intertwined with a higher level of intelligence. They cut us off from God to make us worship daddy, basically, Capricorn. So all you have to do is just leave society behind, and you'll start to see orbs in the forest, you'll see spirits, you'll see shadow beings. I can make shooting stars come on command, and you have to battle yourself. The wilderness journey is all about fighting yourself to be able to find real peace, presence, and humility. You have to go against yourself in order to find perspective, and then you can see how beautiful it is. And then you realize it was all for you, and everything that you saw was the hand of an intelligence that has known you since before you were even born and is just here to help you along your way. And then the amount of responsibility that comes with that is so overwhelming, most people fall back into settling and they lose themselves. It's a really challenging way to live, but it's the only way. It's the truth. But what they did is they turned the truth into a pyramid scheme. Literally, that's what the pyramid is. So, whether you like it or not, fam. So there's my insulation. We're gonna move this. I think I either may make a floor out of this with the plywood. Oh, that scared the shit out of me, fam. Hey, Bud T, I don't give a fuck, okay? I'm not going into the specifics. Whether I got an extra one or not, it doesn't really matter. The point is way bigger. Unless you're saying that by the zero, you're trying to say that creation is feminine. Started with knowledge and then it went to wisdom. Then I agree. But if you were just being kind of nitpicky, it's all right. I'm just so used to those comments, you know what I'm saying? I'm so used to like addicted fat colonizers talking shit while they jerk off. But yeah, so we've got this. Now we go in here. Ah! Throw this shit out. Throw this shit out. Throw this shit out. Throw this shit out. Let's get this. Here's my wood. Got wood. Do you know the term goyslop? Is that just Jewish pandering to perpetuate their false order? Masons are supposed to have an evolved sense of morality, but they don't. They're just power-hungry pieces of shit. Masons are supposed to have a responsibility to caretake the world with God. They're supposed to be respecting God and trying to learn from the infinite. But what they end up doing is just being power-hungry pedophiles. My heater. So this is, once I get my new tent, this is going to double as storage. You can see I got my dream catcher up there. Okay. This is my ADL stuff. Trash, trash. Trash, 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 trash. Las Botas. I don't gonna use you, so you go in there, yerd. Fuck out of here. Alright. You're a goy slop, and your mom's a goy slop. Cassie and Maggie. Gloves. Fits like a glove, don't shove. I got this for the one good cop I met in 10 years. The rest are some pieces of shit. And she was probably not that great either. I just met her in good circumstances. Instead of taking my car, she paid to tow it. But she also told me if I was living out... Reconnect, motherfucker. How long was that Why don't they like the video? Oh, fuck, it's getting cold. My hands are starting to freeze. Hand warmer. That keeps my hands from freezing. Okay. I should probably just move this all over. Okay, one of you or something is fucking with me on purpose. They've been doing that recently. Like, I've known that they've been doing that to me for a long time. People try to hack me a lot. So, once I start to gain traction, they fuck for some reason. Goyim. Shabbat Shalom. Me and my kids every morning. Shabbat Shalom. Okay. Nobody's here, but I just showed up. No, there was like at one point there was 5 or 6 people, and then it started reconnecting. No, I have 4 bars of service. The cell tower's right there. Shabbat Shalom. Goyim. Move this shit over here. I can't really see now. But you know what? This stuff would make... It's good insulation. So... let's move this shit here. This is frozen to the ground. Okay. Instead of folding my laundry like a smart person, I'm just going to stuff it right here. Yeah, that's frozen solid. There's no beating that. Okay, move this. Okay. Now, we pray that there's no mice in this thing that I'm going to pick up and carry in. Stick that in your goyim. Alright. Oh, fuck you! It's cold! And frozen. Alright. Okay. Q-tip break. Shabbat Shalom. Every morning, me and my kids, Shabbat Shalom. We sit at the breakfast table, Shabbat Shalom. Where does Erica Kirk live? I have a nice hammer, bitch. What are you gonna do about it? Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Me and my brush every night. Shabbat Shalom. This is way better than what I had. The rectory, the annex, crawl into the annex, Anne. Anne Frank was in the annex. PSYOP, obviously. No way Anne is in the annex. No way Charlie Kirk died the same week as the Charlotte stabbing. Just like Anne Frank was not in no annex. Your mom was in an annex. Goyim, Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom, me and my battleships. Oh yeah, Marco Rubio has publicly stated that there are aliens in the ocean. And now all of a sudden, Marco Rubio, of all people, is standing on stage with Donald Trump when he does Shabbat Shalom, me and my perfect battleships. They're 100 times bigger, they're 100 times more powerful than the other ones, which are a little bit smaller than this one. But they have nukes. Their lethality is 100 times stronger than if I were to shoot queso into the ocean. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Shalom. Chat, I don't even know what Israel is. Do you? What the fuck is Israel? I thought it was just a bunch of sand. I thought it was from Star Wars. I thought out there was just the sand people. I thought it was Tatooine out there. And now they're like, there's a giant city that's just one long line. And Dubai is shitting on American women for $1 million apiece. Shabbat Shalom. I have duct tape, bitch. I don't know when I'll be able to duct tape this, but I probably should at some point. Play the trombone. Shabbat, Toby Larone. Okay. Get over there. Shabbat Shalom. What's in this bag? Nothing. What is this? My King Camp thing for the quilted thingamabob. And I know what that means, but you will never, okay? It's just how it is. What's in this paper, you ask? I don't know, because it's fucking frozen solid. But I found my extension cord. I found my cock. Don't tell anyone I did that. If you tell anyone I did that, I'll find you. Goyim, you will face the wrath of the chosen people. Shabbat Shalom. I don't know if this is moldy or not. It looks like it's a bit moldy. I'm kind of worried about it. But I'm out of money and I'm out of food. Shabbat Shalom, I had to buy phone service. And I bought this coat, which is nice. I got a good deal at the thrift store, bitch. Fuck you, you selfish piece of trash, ignoring me all day. While you dip into psychosis and the demonic puppets reveal themselves to you. And you get mad because you're a little boy. And I tried to save you, and now I have to give up on you because the season changed. I'm sorry, I gave you 1,000,000 chances. I really tried, man. Shabbat Shalom. Wake up, you're in a coma. Wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, wake up, you're in a coma. Wake up, nothing is real. You died in a car accident. Wake up, you're in purgatory. Wake up, wake up, wake up. God wants you to wake up. You're trapped in purgatory. Simulation. You need to choose the right thing to go to the right dimension, or you will be trapped and it will be degraded into nothing. And the system will reset and you will come back as a bug that I will squash or keep in a bottle for fun. Shabbat Shalom. I piss in the forest and my socks are froze. Goyim. Me and my kids every morning. Shabbat Shalom. I'm in a coma. Shabbat Shalom. Toby Laroma. Where's my energy drinks? I need more. Goyim. Hey. Okay. Hey. Shabbat Shalom. I want fried chicken from the deep south, and I can never get it unless I get some moolah. Shabbat Shalom. I want to fuck a Cherokee. In a Cherokee. I live in a teepee, and I have a bunch of teepee, but I have a rash on my balls, and it hurts. Just kidding, I wash with snow, because I'm not depressed this month, okay? Shabbat's the snow, I wash my balls. Okay. Hell yeah, boy. Yeah, boy. I can't. Chat, I just let the goose loose. Did you hear it? Okay. This can go. Who needs it? Goyim. This can go over here. Toby Laroma. I'm in a coma. I'm from Pleroma. Chat, you eating the buns if she cleans it? I'm thinking, yeah. If girls didn't have this stupid power dynamic where everything is about submitting to them or dominating them, I'd eat some more ass, I'll tell you that much. But now I'm like, bitch, you think I'm submitting to you by eating your ass? You can go make me a sandwich. Shabbat Shalom, eat my sandwich. My fucking towel is frozen. This is gonna be my mat that I step on. I step on every mat I find. Fuck anyone named Matt. I wipe my boots on them. Shabbat Shalom. My name's Jerome, and I'm in a coma from Pleroma, eating a Toblerone with Toby Maguire that acts as my squire. He runs my errands while I'm getting the dome. We live in a dome. This is all just a show. I'm surrounded by ghosts. I'm an ancient pharaoh. I live in a tomb, and I astral project into this vessel that I created through the orchestration of divine beings and archangels. You know what I'm saying? Toby Larone, Toby Maguire, Spider-Man. I am all of them at once. I am the puppet master. Eat my asshole. Okay. But no homo, it's gotta be a girl that does it. And I don't even think I want that, if I'm being truthful. I had a dream once that a girl ate my ass and I felt it, and I woke up like, that was cool, but I don't think I'll ever do that. I'll ever have that experience in real life. I felt it so viscerally in spirit that I think I'm good for the rest of my life. Some ghost ate my ass. I'm telling you. And I woke up like, what the fuck? And I was like, at least it was a girl that did it. At least I didn't have a dream against my will that a man ate my ass. That would be concerning, and I might see a therapist if that happened. Okay. I'm so tired of fat pieces of shit telling me I have mental problems. Have you looked in the mirror? Why don't you take the fucking McDouble out of your eyes before judging the ravioli in another? Okay? You fat bitch, fuck you. Toby Larone, I'm having a smoke. My life is a joke. Because I don't toke. I'm afraid of the future. I'm afraid of my goals. I'm afraid of the knowledge that I hold in my soul. I smoked, took control, broke about the mold. When it found my soul, met the Holy Ghost. He taught me how to float. Okay. I bought all of my preachers an Uzi. You cannot chill in my jacuzzi. All of you losers are useless. I just made a porn. They're paying to view it. You're fucking a fucking computer. Quit making your fucking excuses and just fucking do it. I'm sick of your shit. It's so stupid. You bitches aren't woke. You're barely lucid. I can tell you're made by your music. You're gullible, easy to influence. You don't got a brain. You barely use it. I said you don't got a brain. You barely use it. I can speak alien fluent. I'm making Satan look stupid. You try and stop the revolution, I'll pull up and shoot you like Vladimir Putin. I'm Putin in the forest while the squirrels watch. Oh, I dropped it. I think a crow just took over for a second. They've been getting weird, man. They've been getting obviously vessels possessed by a higher intelligence. And there's nothing I can do. But I might get a trombone. And then when they try, I'll go. I have a GoFundMe. Somebody's offering me a good deal on a $5,000 car for about $2,000. They're giving me a real good deal on it. It's got 21 miles per gallon. It's an SUV. It was made in the year of the cat. I am also made in the year of the cat. I like it. It was that or a shitty Honda Civic. That would probably get me farther. But all of my stuff would be hoarded in the back seat. It would be uncomfortable, and I would feel below all the people in the trucks driving around. I hate driving. I love driving in 2023. Now I'm kind of over it. I have things I want to do now. I've explored so much. I hear revving in the distance. Chat, no matter what, if you ever decide to live my lifestyle, and I don't know how many of you are here, never throw your cigarette butts on the ground. You put them in your pocket, and then when you find a trash can, you dump it in the trash can. Because it's really easy to clean this trash. It's almost impossible to clean the cigarette butts. And they're toxic, and they make the forest feel sick. And then the forest gets mad at you. And then the entire world is mad at you. And then you get punished. The forest is not happy that I leave my trash. I talk to the forest. And I'm like, help me, help me, help me. And then it goes, look at the fucking trash you left in the bed. Why do you think they would respect you? And I'm like, yeah, you're right. I have had opportunities to build wagons. And you know what? I wasn't assertive enough. God sends me very insane, unhealthy, lonely people that happen to have the exact things that I need to get me closer to my goals. And I stay trying to help them with their things because they're so dead set on their things like I am, that I'm thinking if I just get them over the hump, rise the tides, I will be able to profit in the long run and get my needs met. And it can be a mutual thing where I'm actually giving more than I'm taking. And that has not gotten me anywhere but almost molested a handful of times. Because for some reason, the people that are in the presence of my grace go fucking insane. They get literally possessed and they go nuts. They become unaccountable, narcissistic, monitoring spirit, energy vampire, demonic puppets that act irrationally and have no recollection of them doing it because they've completely tuned out and they're just following their impulses. And you know, the excuse is I'm depressed. You know, I've been there. I'm there half the day when I don't have energy drinks. And you know what? I'm starting to think there's really no excuse. And it just helps me be grateful for who I am and what I've overcome, how much strength and endurance I've done going the distance through this gauntlet of life, forging me like a sword until I realized how beautiful it was all along and that I did some badass fucking things. I'm just struggling with vanity. I don't know. I know there's a higher intelligence. I know there are aliens. I know there are spirits. But I want my life to matter more than just the life it lived. I know that the life as I live it is perfect in itself, but I want it to be able to be viewed. I want the moments that I was alone where nobody was around and my personal achievements and victories that nobody saw. I need it to be that can be looked in on forever. That once we get to a state of consciousness and enlightenment, that we are able to access the Akashic records in the infinite. People can just go to my life and they can start it to finish and they can watch everything I did and learn from it. Because I created value and I brought something and I made a change in everything with my existence. And I haven't read the Bible, but the things that I say, people say really line up with everything in the Bible. And that's just what I've learned in a horrific, horrible life, man. But it ain't that bad. You know what I'm saying? So what am I doing? I'm looking for my energy drink right now. And I know there's one over here. Also, if you didn't know, I'm from Pleroma. This is frozen solid. What the hell? This isn't. Don't explode. Okay. Ah. Oh god, what is this? Go. Or it's a rock star. I was like, this isn't tea. It was yellow like the yerba. It's not tea. All right, we're gonna read some chat. Let's do some life path things. Drop your birthdays. Drop your birthdays, man. I'm a pretty good numerologist and astrologist. You close to being on your own or homeless for now? Help yourself, but after being homeless, I know to get back to normal. Tough. Systems make it hard, very hard. Casey Morris. Casey Morris, everybody. Do you miss? Not at all. Not anymore. I tried to help them for years, but apartment in their judge, you know, thorn out of your eye before, or pull the placated before judging the thorn in another. They're on Section 8 and they're eating themselves to death, getting extremely obese and dying from heart and blood and lung problems. Good luck out there, Cincinnati, Ohio. The system not helping you. Good luck out there. Yeah, man, I've been doing this since I was 14. I'm 26. I had a brain injury at 19. And, you know, I made a huge difference. Like, one of my crowning achievements is that, other than the kids that I've helped, the homeless kids that I saved from being raped, and a lot of other kids I did not save from being raped, but I really tried. But I also was homeless outside the Capitol building in Vermont, and every time they were mean to me, I would shit in their parking lot, and I would shit on the ground. And then they put a porta potty, because they would lock all the outside the Capitol building until they put a porta potty. When I was 19, I had a spiritual awakening in college. I was in the music industry briefly, and something really demonic happened, and I met angels and stuff. And back now, it's like, it's fine. It's no big deal. It's every day, bro. You know what I'm saying? But back then, I was not ready to accept that I'm clairaudient, clairvoyant, claircognizant, a 33 life path, born in the 11th, Sagittarius, Sun, Mercury, and Pluto in the 8th house. I wasn't ready to accept that my natural genetic tendency is that of the ancient Celts and of the ancient Native Americans and the ancient Egyptians, that I live completely enmeshed with spirit and the world at the same time, where everybody else is disconnected. So I didn't see it as a gift. But looking back, I'm like, yeah, I grew up in complete isolation on top of a mountain deep in the wilderness. It's a $500,000 house that my dad was house sitting for a boat captain Freemason for the DuPont family. And I grew up building Legos in an abandoned ski resort with my dad, just walking around with nobody else. And that really taught me how to access spirit. So now I see it as a gift, but back then I couldn't handle it and I didn't understand the difference, and I was invaded by impulsive thoughts. And every time I felt like, as I would drive and philosophize and use my genius to make better, more knowledge and wisdom and learn more and live better and experience more, and everything was just getting better. My life was crumbling around me, and I didn't see it as a test of faith and that I was being guided in the right direction. I saw it as everyone I loved was dying and degrading and falling away and leaving me and hurting me. And I thought it was a war against the Antichrist, and I was fighting to save them. What I should have realized is that was them. That was proof that they weren't shit, and I should have focused on myself. So instead, when I lost everything, I felt personally like it was something wrong with me, and I ruined my life, and everything sucked. My car broke down, all my friends are gone, my girlfriend left, and I just drove 90 miles an hour straight into a telephone pole, and the airbag didn't go off. So after that, I remember hitting the airbag, and I transferred dimensions. Like, immediately I just left my body and entered another one, got out of the car, and then I snapped back to reality, and I woke up, or like an angel sort of possessed my corpse and then healed me or something. I don't know. It was something very supernatural about it, where I left unscathed. But after that, everything was completely different. The entire universe was completely different. But also, in your astrological year at 19, that's when you get hit the hardest. that's like a huge year for like breakdowns and karma and transformation, and just you get hurt badly, but as part of your growth. After that, I shut like all the time. Aliens were fucking with me. Everything became a Truman Show. Like every day of my life became an episode of a TV show I couldn't escape, and it was so obvious to me. And everyone was playing pretend, and they couldn't see the orchestration of everything. Like in a town of 40,000 people, every time you go anywhere, there's the same three people you run into everywhere. Like you're just all living the same sort of trajectory. Like there's 40,000 people, and the Walmart's completely busy. Yet every time I go to the snack aisle, it empties out completely, and then a girl walks in that I was thinking about dating that day, but I'm trapped with my girlfriend and I don't want to leave her. And then this other girl just keeps walking into my life, stuff like that. Or like later on, it was famous people that would find me in the woods or find me in an empty aisle in a grocery store, like Epic Mealtime, Ray William Johnson, MGK, Owen Cook, Elliot Hulse's nephew was my roommate in college, stuff like that, where I'm like surrounded by the elites of my whole life. But before, I thought there was something wrong with me at first, and now I've just risen to the challenge, and it's been a horrible 10 years. It's been really bad. It's been suffering with nothing every day and fighting to get my needs met in a world that's violently prejudiced and attacks me. And I had to make this YouTube channel in order to record the police when they would break their code to hurt me. Do I think it's detrimental to my growth at all? No, because of the perspective and humility and strength I've gained that makes me realer and more competent and a better leader and a better man than all the people that I see that have not gone through this wilderness journey and experience. The things that I've learned here are priceless. You couldn't fathom the perspective that I've gained from absolutely nothing, and everyone I love is dead or dead inside, fighting to survive, preaching with the bird, singing with the birds like I preach in a choir. And learning how to talk to crows, and I learned their language, and I can fuck with them from a distance, and I have videos of me making the crows call with my hand, just hey, hey. I have videos of me literally turning the crows off with my mind from across the river. And the stuff I've learned about God and the people that I'm able to save because I meet them where they're at, because not many people are willing to put themselves into this environment. Why do you think the world can understand you? Are they on a different wavelength? They haven't separated from the Capricorn Saturnian matrix, so they're not able to be able to have the bandwidth to raise their vibration and tune into this higher dimension of reality. So they're being guided by a demonic authority that's controlling them in a pyramid scheme to possess their serfs and slaves, to drive them. And they think that they're gaining wealth and gaining perspective, but really what they're doing is going further from Christ. And me, it's just like playing a song powerful enough to change the tune. And I go in and I make a change and I harmonize. And that's the 33 life path. It's the 3, the 6, elevated with the 11 to the most powerful. The 33 life path, the divine child. The super harmonizer. That's why XXX Tentacion blew up, because of his one album. His perspective and his sonics and his mixing and his artwork. He chose black and white for 17 because that's 11. Gematria, black, B is 2, C is 3, spelled out, and then white is black and white. 1111, that's what that is. And then as a 33 life path, he made an 11 album, and that's what made him famous. 1133 KC. It's like the natives decided that this was the best way to live. It's not that they were savages. It's just that they decided that nature was more intelligent than anything man could create, and they decided to live in harmony with it and work on nature, work with nature, imbue themselves with nature and be connected to nature, like the Na'vi in Avatar. I'm from Pleroma. Where's my energy drink? Let's move this down here. How's the... Okay, this does actually reflect really well off the tent wall. He was famous before for looking at me. X was something special. Look at me, look at me, look at me. I mean, you could say XXX, 10, 10, 10. 111. Wasn't his name Ya or something? But yeah. When you free yourself from the holds of being woven into the strings of code of society, you have the opportunity to be aware of that and make a change and be able to find a different perspective. And when you're out there, you will be met in the wilderness with the wolves. and you'll have to fight to learn boundaries and uncover this. You'll be possessed by the mycelial network for a couple months. You know what I'm saying? Also, anyone you see in the industry is reading off of a script created by people in those skyscrapers. When you look in cities and you're like, I wonder what goes on in there. Some of those floors are completely just writers' rooms of people that are in the industry, and they're creating the narrative for everything you see on the internet. Any streamer beef, Asman shocking his dog, all this stuff is careful orchestrations for hundreds of years by a Masonic organization. They're all reading scripts. They have leeway, like Moist Critical can play Granny if he wants, but there will come a time where he gets an email and he says, this is what you have to do. This is the video. This is exactly what you need to say. You have 2 hours to tweak it to your own style and then send it back, and we will approve whether that's good enough or not. And if you don't, you have handlers and monitoring spirits, which will not only steal your soul, steal your spiritual essence, steal your emotions, steal your relationships, attach demonic entities to your family, curse you and hex you. It will also destroy you physically. They have legal loopholes for everything because they created the system. They can just take your land if they want. They're not allowing people to give their land to the natives anymore. You are legally not allowed to donate your land to the natives. So there's nothing you can do in American society to improve. You're just here. And whether or not you want to waste your life in a box, like you buy a house, you waste, how long would it take you working minimum wage to make enough money to buy a nice piece of property in Vermont? It would take 4 or 5 years. If I wasted, so I would be 31 by the time I could have a house. And by then, I spent so much time working, I didn't have a childhood, and I would want to leave that house anyway. By the time I saved up and bought a house, I wouldn't want to live there anymore because I'd want to see the world. Do you see my predicament? But the problem is, in everywhere but this town, everywhere in the state but this town, the police saw me as a threat. And they would act like a military operation to slowly destroy me and use intimidation tactics and fear to drive me into a state of psychosis and fear. They would corner me like a caged animal. And try. You just said you wasted 10 years? Yeah, I mean, I could have been famous. I had a 140 IQ when I was 14. Like, real legit tested in a homeless shelter. They sent somebody to test me. Because a house isn't that responsible. And by the time you have the house, then you have to work for a truck, a car, the studio, all this stuff. I'm not saying don't grind for 4 years, but I'm saying that take the time to really personalize the experience that you want. Maybe maybe I could find another way to grind that doesn't result in feeling like I wasted it. Like traveling to different homesteads and picking up jobs as carpentry for the same amount per hour as I would in a general company, but I also get to travel. Being homeless is not so simple. Being homeless is suffering and losing yourself and having to hold on to what you have while the enemy or the Matrix or the demonic agenda or Capricorn or BlackRock, Saturn, the cube inside the Star of David, while that intelligence works against you, having to hold to persevere while you gain a connection to nature and learn the natural teachings, it's hard, it's challenging, and it's why everyone says that's what you got to do to be a real man. To be a Spartan, you have to leave Rome as a child, and you have to go into the woods and survive, and you have to eventually you have to find a wolf and kill it, and you can't come back until you kill a wolf. They might teach you how to make a spear, they might teach you how to make a tomahawk and an axe, but you go out there with nothing, and you have to come back with a wolf pelt. And I'm at the point I could kill a bear. I've been in position to kill a bear. I could kill a bear as soon as I got a crossbow. I know where one is. I could go kill a bear. I don't know how to make a spear. That's right. I know how to make a fishing hook. Don't really know. I guess I could use sinew. I think that's the right word for it. I could use like a pricker bush and use the pricker bush with the thing and then find a worm and put it on it, and I could catch a fish. You know, but do I want to kill this? So instead, I waited and asked God. Instead I chose to, instead of killing a deer, I got myself to a position I could kill a deer, and then I waited for a buck's head to go on marketplace, and then I took the buck's head as a way of saying I'm taking this buck's head from being a trophy in a 17-year-old's room. You should do that Survivor show and make $1 million if you lost it till the end. I don't have the ability to edit videos. I'd love to do the Survivor show. I'm afraid of what the industry is. I'm afraid of like getting a handler and accidentally getting into that, and then now I'm stuck and co-opted, and I become sort of forced to do something I don't want to do. Like, I imagine you go out there, and then there comes a point where the Epstein's Island people show up, and they say the only way off this island is to get raped and become part of our order. Where is he located? I can read. You know, bro. I'm in rural Appalachia, on top of a mountain. I'm about 1,000 feet up. Dude, I've been looking for an editor for a long time. Just like take shit from I just want like people to go back through my random channel. Am I black? I have O positive blood, I think, which means that I'm indigenous to North America. My mother's side is I'm thinking they go Seneca, Mohawk, Cree, Inuit. I think that was the split. But I also think like I'll look at a lot of pictures and I just go off my dreams and like the things with my ancestors. Handsome Hunkization. That sounds like a spell. Thank you, man. It sounds like he cast a spell to make me a handsome hunk. Which is happening slowly. Handsome hunk on the way, bro. Pretty sure there's some Crow in there, some Absolute, some Cherokee. Just going off of like the images of what they looked like 100 years ago, before colonialization. When you go back like 200, 300 years ago, and you look at their faces, like when I'm not put on the winter weight, the shape of my cheekbones and my nose usually actually points up a little bit, and my eyes have the slant. You can tell I'm Irish, but then when you put me around Irish people and you put me next to native Inuit people, you're like, okay, I can see it. I can see the thing. I get it. And my mom looks way more native than I do, and I never met my grandfather. And on my father's side, my uncle told me there's some African in there, some native in there, and then a lot of Irish. Like my grandmother was like native, and I think it was like a German, maybe Jewish, German Jewish. You never know what the truth was back then. Immigrated over and was with natives, and then the next generation they met the Irish, and my great-grandfather is directly from Ireland. He was in World War II. He trained dogs and messenger pigeons, and then he immigrated here. Or he was in World War I. He was in one of the world wars, and he was really proficient. And they said that when the cars were first being made, people would come from across the country to pick up my great-grandfather, and they would take him across the country to different shows for like dogs and guns and all this stuff. When cars were first invented, the most powerful people in the world were driving those cars, and my family said that they would pick up my great-grandfather and take him somewhere across the country. I don't know for what, but I'm assuming because he trained dogs and pigeons. My grandfather trained cops in Bronx. My dad trained rich people's kids how to ski in a ski resort, and I basically trained the world how to be better people. I'm like a 33 life path, the master teacher. It kind of makes sense. Another cool thing is that my family keeps finding polar bear stuffed animals, my dad and I. No matter where we go, if we lose our polar bear stuffed animal, we find another one. If we lose that, we get a shirt with a polar bear on it. Or like somebody gave me a marble carved polar bear once. And somebody showed up and gave me a playing card for a polar bear. A polar bear is a huge symbolism in my life over and over again. Make a Google Drive. I already have a Google Drive. I'll let it free to make good vids. I'm just saying, like, maybe YouTube download in your free time and just like go to my channel at random, and then eventually I don't know which group I want. If it's a Discord, or make a separate Facebook and a Facebook group, or what? Or maybe it could just be a Google Drive email chain or something. My beard is Mongolian, Siberian. My beard is just unshaved, man. It's true. I heard that. I mean, my dad's got a huge, thick beard, and we've got my dad and I just naturally have really, really thick hair. So I'm gonna get a beard eventually. I don't know why it's my mom's side that got me the Johnny Depp look. Johnny Depp if he was homeless. Am I a black Israelite? I think I'm an ancient Egyptian. I think Irish people are the true Israelites. And I think that Ireland is the true chosen people. And when the texts talk about the true Israelites being the enemy for 2,000 years until they finally win, they're not fucking talking about the Jews that popped up in the 1700s over in Israel. They're talking about the fucking Irish and the natives, the ancient Egyptians, the true Israelites. If you look at the hieroglyphs in the pyramids, they're fucking Native Americans. Chinese, Japanese, and dirty knees don't wear fucking feathers on their arms and on their head and dance around. But the native Cree people do, and the Crows do. And maybe that's why the Crows bother me all the time. Maybe I'm supposed to accept that I'm Crow. And that really I'm the children of the Thunderbird. That would make sense. I can't show you. I don't know where it is. But that would make sense why I was gifted a native headband with a fucking crow on it. Crow was just a derogatory term because the French didn't want to call them by their real name, because back then it was all about calling people names. That's why colonizers love going on Facebook and talking shit. The blacks went through the most struggles, though. Have they? I mean, really, have they? The Irish, the Celts, the Slavs. Slav means slave. The Slavic people, the slave people. Africa was mostly left alone by themselves until they had the technological capability to go there. You could argue how many, and I'm not even sure that, and by Native Americans, most of the blacks are the Native Americans. In America, at least. There were dark-skinned, melanated tribes. Because everywhere in the world had melanin, because we came from Africa. So there was some leftover melanated people in Louisiana and Florida. Also, they took out history. So we don't, like, you think they can build the pyramids, but they weren't seafaring? You think the people that built the pyramids couldn't build a boat? They built an ark thousands of years ago, but you don't think they could travel across the ocean until, like, the 1300s? No, the Europeans just didn't write that because it wasn't their culture. We don't know what the people were doing because they don't tell us. But we know that every single culture talks about the star people coming down and either taking wives and having babies, or they go to war against them to stop them from taking wives and having babies. But every culture attributes that interaction with that higher intelligence as the foundational key to unlocking their genetics and enhancing their spiritual nature, because all is mind. Whether they were at war with the Tuatha De Danann or the Sky People or the aliens that raped the Jews in Israel, not the Israelites. And whether that was even Israel or not, I don't know. Maybe it wasn't even a desert, but it got nuked. You know, maybe it used to be a forest. You know, we don't know. Look how quickly they're building forests in the desert. China is just buying up African land, and they're in 1 year they're turning it from a complete inhabitable desert to a lush, beautiful, Shire-looking thing, like The Hobbit, in less than 10 years. We don't know what happened, but I know that whatever happened is present in our epigenetics, and that's what makes us all individual and special. And our soul is separate from that, and it slowly intertwines with that, but mostly our epigenetics and spirit are inside of our consciousness and working as a relay race with everyone that came before us, and we have a job on this planet, and our soul picked up that role. I'll grab your goat by the horns and throw them before they ever tell me to do it, I'm told. I am reading comments. Do I have all comments on? No, I don't. Okay, my fault. The gates of hell are an actual location. Well, that could have been anything. Like the You could say it's a stargate that allows for a sigil to open up the electromagnetic spectrum to step through into a portal to another realm, like the Upside Down. Or it could be like the Aztecs and the Mayans and the Incas said, that the gray aliens would come up from the caves and would come up from underground and they would steal children. If I were in the 1800s as an African and got enslaved, what would I do? I wouldn't have the level of education I have now. I wouldn't have access to the internet or knowledge of the internet. I wouldn't know what was possible. I wouldn't know what was going around. If I woke up in a slave's body tomorrow and I still was myself, I'd be able to escape. Because I've seen Predator, you know. I know to smear mud on myself, avoid the hounds. The problem, and there was a lot less people. I would at least try. It wouldn't be hard to kill your slave master back then. I don't think. I think it was the fact that they were trapped in a beehive. That was the hard part. They could like the windows were shit. The architecture was shit. You could get in. And you could get them. You could shove a rock in your ass and sharpen it every single night until you have a rock spearhead. And then when they come in to beat you, you know, but there's a lot of them. Like I have tons of trauma from being restrained by police. You know, they would just shoot me in the back, I think, in the middle of the night with the fucking muskets. With the muskets, they'd shoot me in the back with the muskets. Bam! And then it goes all the way over that way. No, the problem was horses and dogs. Horses and dogs. And I'm saying you don't have the education. They literally wouldn't let you know any better because you were born into it. You were born into it. You know, you didn't have an education. You didn't imagine how messed up their psychology was. To be born into that. That was tough. That's what you'd have to break. Especially nowhere near the age of Aquarius. So they're still trapped in the dark waters. They're still trapped in Pisces. You know what I'm saying? What's Cap? The generational family tree of mine? Yeah, probably. If I was on the sleeve, but I would just convince all the other slaves to overthrow a boat because it would be like 300 versus like 4. Yeah. That's why they don't really have. I think those plot holes in the slave ship thing are why we don't have any slave ships around. And there's also no record of slave ships that we can find. It wasn't illegal. I don't believe you, man. 1,200 generations? 1,200 generations? No way. Panteras. Do you know the gates of hell are at the bottom of Mount Hermon in Israel? If that were true, there would be a huge-ass Stranger Things level military base. If there's a huge-ass military base surrounding it, yeah. Would I buy a slave to free him? If I had enough money and slavery was still around, I would buy them to let them be free. Like the same way I did with the buck's head. When I bought a buck's head to keep it out of a 17-year-old white kid's house. I'd buy a slave to let him be free. And he can be free on my land. And he can work if he wants to, but he's free. He can leave if he wants to, too. That's what I'm saying. So, we'd have to train him, we'd have to arm him, we'd have to build a bunker for him, and he would live in the basement. Thanks, Heather. It's hard. You'd have to deserve it to understand. We were Neanderthals back then. Cave monkeys. I saw a black girl twerking on a porch in the hood, and I commented, "Is that a porch monkey?" But I still thought she was cute and smart. I'm just like, why is Bad Baby with $100 million, the Cash Me Outside girl? Why with $100 to $200 million? Why is she twerking on camera? Niagara Falls gives me nightmares as a kid. Yeah, I bet they threw a lot of people off that. It was known as 2 degrees to the entrance to the underworld. They couldn't measure its depth. Yeah, but do you think that that's a cave? And they didn't have the ability to go down there. And also, like, the eternal flame, like there are just places on Earth that naturally ignite and they stay burning forever. It could be that, like, they couldn't get down to the bottom of the cave, and there was a natural ignition of a gas that kept it burning the whole time. So they assumed it was the gates of hell. Or maybe if there were demonic creatures down there, ancient dinosaurs, who knows? Become an OnlyFans model? Well, the first step would be to get buff, or at least get better looking and get healthy enough that I'm in peak condition. I'm not trying to go on OnlyFans. That was pretty scary. I have to find my fucking dude. If when the charge went down and the flashlight turned off, and there was just some shit standing right out there, I would shit myself. I would shit myself, man. Okay, something's wrong. Okay, hold on. There we go, we're back. Okay. Why don't you stay at the laundromat? It's not cold enough, and there's a lot of people, and it bothers me. The, like, energy exchange in the stupid dominance games, and people puppeted by aliens, and acting crazy, farming electromagnetic energy and manifestation energy and emotional wealth to use for sexual and power rituals and shit at the expense of the community, like trying to gain a reputation enmeshed in that disgusting sea monster they're all connected to. I'd rather be suffering in the woods than suffering in the laundromat, especially now that I've built enough relationships in the community. I'm able to have access to dropping off my power station and coming back the next day. Tomorrow I'm going to have to work all day shoveling. Okay. Has any other homeless person tried to harm you? Yeah. I've been jumped a few times, and one time a guy on mushrooms dove out of a tree and choked me through the tent, and I had to grab my machete and cut my way out and then put the tent around him, and then I ran out into the skate park. One time there was a schizophrenic 30-year-old man in the woods that would shoot a 22 at me, and he came at me with a hatchet while my car got stuck in the mud out in a field, and so I spent the winter out there, and he would show up with a hatchet and break it to shit and say, "This is you," and he'd chop a tree down, and I had to, like, sneak into his shit and fuck it up, and I had to go to his manager and tell him what happened. And then the guy said that he was farming my energy, and I felt like he was farming my energy. And eventually he went mad with power, and he put a gun to his coworker's back as like a joke to scare fear into him, because he said he was like a Leo monster that was attaching himself to everybody and farming them of energy so that the girls would like him more. And, in those situations, I'm physically trapped, and I have to fight my way out. I have to literally fight them. Also, in that laundromat, a guy came at me with a baton, and I picked him up and slammed him on the ground, and I hacked his ribs with a hatchet, and he ran out screaming, and I chased him out, fell on the ground, did a barrel roll, shot up, and smashed the driver's window, and then they backed up into a telephone pole and broke it and drove away. I've been shot at like 3 or 4 times. People have invited me into places and tried to rape me in those places. One guy whipped his dick out holding an assault rifle, and I didn't know what to do, so I'm like, can I just take a shower? And he was like, oh, yeah, sure. And then I came out and he was playing one of my songs on the piano. No, I'm not lying. Kat, Vincent, Gene, Rowan, but that was on the internet. I think it was the Morrisville Police Department that shot at me, and I think it was the state police that shot at me based on testimonies of people, or they at least took credit for it. Because there's no proof. There's no cameras. Will I marry a Neanderthal girl if I find one? Probably not. I don't know. Puerto Rican juice is so delicious. No Diddy. I'm talking about women. Maybe like a girl that's like mixed, like Irish and maybe some English, but also native and Puerto Rican or Colombian. I see a lot of videos of these thick girls in villages in Asia with like huge butts. But you know what? Those girls could be buying the fake prosthetic butts and putting them on under their dress for clicks. You know what I'm saying? A lot of girls do that now. It's a psyop. You're gonna go out there expecting to find a thick Asian baddie, and you're gonna find that they're wearing they're wearing prosthetics. If you hack someone open with a machete in a laundromat, it was a hatchet, and I hit him with the dull end of the hatchet, but I still got him. Because he was the other guy. The other guy was a criminal. He knew he was wrong, attacking Casey fought in self-defense, and that other guy was a drug addict. Yeah. The state police did look at the footage, and they told me that I was the aggressor, even though he put on a mask, he came in with a baton, and he blocked the doorway so I couldn't leave. And I held my hatchet. I said, if you swing at me, I'm going to swing at you. And then he went to fake me out, I think. But he still jumped, so I got him in the shoulder. And then he tackled me into one of the dryers, and then we were wrestled for the hatchet. And I went, this is not how Casey goes! And I picked him up and threw him on the ground, and I went to hack him. And it wasn't a deliberate choice, to be honest. That's dishonest that I said that I flipped the hatchet over so that I could get him. I think it's just in the struggle the hatchet flipped. But I hit him with, the hatchet is like a blade on this side, and then it's got this little point on this side. I was hitting him with that point. Yeah, I don't lie. I don't lie. Because if I was dishonest, the shit that I say about spirit and God would be dishonest. I don't do this for clicks or I do this because it's just like, I don't really have anything else to do. It's like 0 degrees out right now. And I don't have a birth certificate. Back then, if you go back through my channel, like the past year and a half, 2 years, because I was homeless and I'm not from this area, they would not hire me. They would file false police reports, lying to the police about things that didn't happen, hoping that the police would show up, and the police would just attack me. And I had to make this channel, and I had to get to 50 subscribers so that I could live stream so they would stop doing it. That's the whole point of this YouTube. It was a digital legacy, and it was to stop the police from hurting me. Will you marry a girl with enormous titties? I've been with a lot of girls with enormous titties, and I don't think I could marry a girl with non-enormous titties. I could marry a girl with average titties that would get bigger with kids, and they just have to be built right, or else I think I would rather just get buff and get money and be a passport bro. You know, I'm a literal feral animal that's been homeless since he was 14, but people say I'm not bad looking. And I'm not. I'm 5'10", 5'11" to 6 foot in boots. Yeah, Heather's been watching for like 3 years. She's watched me pretty much every time I got arrested, and it was all bullshit. It was like somebody lied to the cops, or I got trespassed because I was walking down the street and a place didn't like me. I just like homeless guy walking down the street to go sit in the cemetery, walk through a college once singing native songs to see if I wanted to go to college for wildlife conservation. Then a week later, security shows up and says that Phil Scott, the governor, saw me singing my native songs and practicing. helps me focus, you know? It helps me focus. It activates the vagus nerve. It helps me get into alignment. So back when I was really traumatized and stuck, it really helped. And that was when I was just learning about it. So I was just doing it. It wasn't loud, but I was doing it, you know, and practicing like bird chirps and stuff. Phil Scott texted, the governor of Vermont was there at that college, texted the security, why is this engine squawking on our property? And then a week later, they trespassed me. I finally found someone to buy my broken down car in the park and ride. And I called the police that were bothering me and said, hey, thank you for letting me keep my car here. On Monday, it'll be sold. And they looked, they went and got the VIN number. They said, Casey didn't pay for the registration yet. So it's not legally his yet. So let's take it and sell it for ourselves. So they stole everything I owned, my music studio, my birth certificate, my IDs, my baby pictures, everything I owned, everything that was important to me. They took it for themselves, and probably it's just crushed in a junker and sold for scrap metal. For some money in a cop's pocket. Because fuck the homeless guy. And I was suffering, trying to work every day. I wasn't lazy. You know what I'm saying? And then the next couple days, tornado warning in where I live. What the hell? Tornado warning never hits these parts of the mountains, but there's a tornado coming. It wiped out a town 8 hours away. It's coming. And there's a hurricane coming. It's going to be a hurricane and a tornado. I have no options. I can't sleep in the forest because what if a tree knocks down? So I go to a field. I stay there for 3 days through the whole storm. At the end of it, I organized all my trash because I bought a pizza and some snacks to get me through. And I'm ready to just get up and leave and go back to the woods. And then immediately the security's there and I'm arrested. And I also find out that some random gas station made up that I stole a charger from them and the police believed him. That's good. It smells too. Your coochie smells as well. 1v1. Why haven't I stayed tuned in for so long, Demon Hunter? Why have you stayed in tune? Why not? Do you think that my stuff isn't valuable? You don't think my life is interesting? I do the Maori haka dance. I'd like to. I'd like to learn. I'd like to go salsa with some bad bitches down in Colombia and Latin America. I'd like to play soccer with them and then take the baddest bitch you've ever seen in your life up into a $30 hostel for the night. I went down to West Virginia in 2021 to buy a car for my dad because our Lexus that my dad inherited got ruined. And I went down there and the guy was a piece of junk and his car was a piece of shit. And I'm about to leave and there's this little guy in a taxi cab staring at me. Little small guy, dark skin, takes off. And then I see him again an hour later staring at me through the window. And then when I see him, he takes off. And then I'm like, oh shit, it's fucking Sunday. There's no bus coming to the Greyhound station. So I call the cab company. And it's that guy. And that guy locks me in the car and says, bruh, I saw you in a dream before I met you. I knew I was going to meet you. You are special. I saw it. I felt it as I came into the parking lot. I saw it. I know you got something special for you. God brought you to us. So instead, he takes me to the top of this big hill where there's a Walmart, and he gets on the phone and he goes, Brian, I need you here. There's a guy that God sent to us. He's very special. And Brian's like, actually, I'm in the parking lot right now with my family. And then the cab driver gets on the phone again and goes, Brian, I need you here. And then Brian goes, actually, my family's on the top of this hill further up. We see you, look. And they're waving. So the guy's name is Franchos or Frank. Frank and two Brians and their families are on this mound. I'm standing on this mound and they're in the parking lot below the mound and they're looking up and going, God, thank you so much. Thank you so much for bringing Casey into our lives. Please give him peace. Please keep this, bring him, get him, like they're praying and Pentecostal praying. And I'm standing there at 21 years old. Yeah, you're gone, bro. Sorry. 21 years old. And I've got this fucking Walmart throw blanket over me. And I'm standing there like so much trauma had happened in my life. I've been through so much. I'm a fish out of water here. I'm living fully in spirit and paranoia from the dangers that could happen and everything I've been through. And I'm trying to hold my connection to God. And I can kind of see that they aren't connected to God the way that I am, or at least there's something different about us. You know, like maybe I'm too Aquarius and they're too Age of Pisces. You know, the way that they connect is different through their belief systems in the dark waters. Whereas I'm like, you know, they're like, I'm like, you know, so it's different. The energy is just completely different. Maybe maybe genetics or something, or just different cultures. Being from Vermont versus where they are, um, at the bottom of the Appalachian Mountains. Maybe it's just different. I don't know. Maybe they're just different environments, different life. But it just feels weird, and it feels weird the position I'm in. And I end up living with them for, I think, how long was it? 2 months? I think there was still snow on the ground, and I think I left in late May, so maybe it was 2 months. I know I was there for Easter, um, but I wasn't there for prom, so I must have left like early May actually. Um, and then I came back, and I came back with money in my pocket from Dogecoin, a nice car, dressed nice. Um, you know, I didn't spend a lot of time with people in the hood, I guess, but I spent enough time with people from Paterson, New Jersey, um, hanging out with Frank and Brigitte they got me high, and they did this voodoo ritual that I was kind of stuck in. They gave me Seroquel because I was like, maybe I am schizophrenic. So they were like, if you want a Seroquel, we got one. So I took it, and then they blew smoke in my face, and then I was really fucked up. And they did this whole ass voodoo ritual where her and her cousin showed up, and they were chanting and freestyling and laughing, and they tried to convince me I was a dog. And I'm standing there like, I'm not a dog. Like, what's going on? And I'm trying to think, and I can't. And I can see them stealing my life force energy and cackling and laughing like a literal disgusting voodoo ritual. And they tell me flat out that they stole my soul, and then they just kind of kicked me out. And after that, I was really messed up for a while. Like, then the Frank turned out to be, he was, at the end of it, he told me the entire relationship we had, he was stealing my life force. And at the end of it, he did the ritual correctly. And he goes, and I felt completely lifeless and empty and gone with nothing. Like, I'm just gone. Everything about me is just gone. And then he goes, I'm Casey. And then he slams the door and locks me out, and I've never seen him again. That shit happened. But I was staying with Demon Hunter and her family back then. They were helping me out. They didn't have any expectations of me. They allowed me into their home, and they let me just hang out with the family and have a family for a month, which was really important for me. I needed it. I needed to be crazy and be around playing video games with their kids and jumping on the trampoline. I needed that, or else I would have gone completely insane. I wish that I hadn't spent that much time with Frank. But the thing is that they live on top of they live on this hillside, and then they're overlooking a small town of 1,000 people in the middle of the Appalachian Mountains. Their last name means Green Mountain. The husband or the father of the family, his name is Brian, which means hill, like O'Brien. And that was Casey Francis O'Brien that got kidnapped by Francis and taken to Brian's. You know what I'm saying? Look at Mountain Bike Mayhem. What a cringe fucking loser, dude. Holy shit. This guy wears sunglasses in his profile picture. What an inbred retard. Bro thinks he knows Brian. I do know Brian. I know a lot of Brians. And I'm saying that part of my life is that, oh my God, you're just doubling down. You can't even think of anything, dude. You can't think laterally. Brian Griffin. Yeah. Symbolism in Family Guy. Other than Brian Griffin, the Eagle Lion Brian. But I ain't lying. I'm a giant Irish lion diagnosed with oppositional defiance. One day I'll go and see me on the Forbes. I'm embedded in their minds like vinyl. Everything I spit is final. Bottom line, like I wrote, and on my signature, I go out to public parks just to make those demons knock it off. I won't turn my shit down for you, bitch. You are not the boss. Oh, you got a boo-boo, little bitch? Go and walk it off. Every time they cut me down, I came back with a Molotov. Stewie Griffin, I think they made him gay because of the Jews. I think they made it gay in order to suppress their influence on the collective consciousness. There were too many kids that were going to grow up to become psychopaths, so they had to make them gay. Or they made them psychos, and then they made the character gay to take away masculinity for a few years to fuck up their psyche, and now they're psychos that don't get laid, which makes them more psycho. And now we have school shooters. You know, maybe that was the agenda. But anything that you see on your TV is a programmed agenda by the Saturnian cult that is Black Rock, the black cube of Mecca, inside the Star of David, that cube, the Christian cross folded up into a cube, or the Nike swoosh is the ring of Saturn. Look up Saturn worship celebrities. You'll see they all wear the Saturn regalia. Christmas being on the 25th of December is a Saturnian Satan worshipping ritual to idol worship, putting the gifts under the tree with the ornaments. It's an ancient cult that eats babies, and that's what Epstein's Island was about. That's why Ellen DeGeneres says, look at my beautiful skin cream that keeps me young forever, and it's baby's foreskin. You know what I'm saying? Why do you think is the worst person in Hollywood besides Epstein? Obviously, who do you think is the worst? We'll never know. We'll never know. Purdy Kitty, I don't know what that means. Bro thinks he knows Satan. I think we all know Satan. We're just not, we've been taught not to be able to discern what is and isn't the mind flayer from Stranger Things, and a greater sense of intelligence with a malevolent agenda that we're supposed to overcome, learn boundaries, and challenge ourselves to grow past in order to withstand and endure and hold the focus and make an accurate change with the wisdom you've learned from your suffering of Saturn or discipline and karma. Capricorn, the dark empire, the slow churn and chugging of the goat going up the mountain. Foreskin actually is used in the crazy expensive skin lotion somehow, so he's slightly right. I'm completely right. You just don't, you know, maybe you have a job and you don't have enough time to figure this stuff out. How many bodies you have under your prison name? Well, they lived, but my father tried to kill me with a hammer when I was 14, and I picked him up and threw him on the ground and ran out in negative 20 degrees, and I walked a mile while he played chicken with me. And we lived in an abandoned ski resort in a ski chalet for the DuPont family because my dad was a ski instructor for their kids and the CEO of Wells Fargo, and his friend Skip was the captain of the Cannoneer for the DuPont family. So we lived in that ski chalet after people burned our barn down and we lost our property. And my dad died of a heart attack and they brought him back to life. Did I kill him? Maybe. I won. And then, you know, I've thrown people on the ground and I was this close from kicking their teeth into their skull, and I was tackled by an adult with my Tim boots on out in New York. So I was that close. That would have been a kill, but it was God, perfect timing, wiped me. Bro thinks he's a Capricorn. You're not. Yeah. So, yeah, that happened. I've been able to push people off cliffs that were spitting in my face, and I decided not to, but that could have been a body pushing him right off a cliffside. This angry old homeless man. But instead I left and said, keep jerking off in your tent, you pussy. And I left. Yeah, I'm excited for the next one. You could say Will survives, Will the Wise, Will Nate, Jesse. And then when I was 21, my only friends were Jesse and Nate, and I felt so defeated I had to hold on to my will and make it survive. Or just the obvious Jesse being the 33 life path, Leo, and then you have Will and Nate. Nate means gift from God. But either way, like Planet Hank, Henry, and Henry the Mind Flayer. Henry being like a big name of this cycle of names surrounding Casey, like in this movie Caught Stealing that came out this year. Hank is able to defeat Colorado, the Bad Bunny from Colorado, and what was the other girl's? Yvonne died, and the Jews, played by Vincent D'Onofrio, and the only way he could do it, and Russ, and the only way he could do it was because a homeless guy outside named Casey has a key in his pocket. Also, all right, you're gone. Sorry. It was funny. Also, you could say like Henry and his ant colony helped Ant-Man defeat Casey or Kang the Conqueror until Loki, with the help of Casey and OB in the show Loki, defeated Kang the Conqueror, Casey, and Loki became the Tree of Life, or the Acacia, or the Casey. Yeah. So there are people like Jason 300C1 or 331. Jason is J is the 10th, so it's 10331. Just right there. It's about the symbolism and the recurring thing, but they're all gone. Everyone left. I don't have to explain it again, but just going off. Eventually I'll have a big board that looks like a tree with all the different stories on them to show the obvious reoccurring thematic presence and the will of something, whether it's a Masonic Satanist agenda leaving their symbolism, or it's God's hand, or it's just me. But with my life in real life, we'll be able to show that creation and life intertwine, don't know much of anything else. Yeah, same. I don't know my grandfather, but he was native. And my other grandmother was in that crowd back then. So I don't know. It's fucking snowing now, which means I'm gonna have to wake up and go to work tomorrow shoveling. Do you feel disconnected because you don't know? No, I feel like I had the opportunity to learn it my own way with the help of my ancestors and spirit guides out in the woods by myself. So I have a unique take on it. I was gifted the tools to be able to do it, and I was free to have a blank canvas to create my own philosophy and theosophy. It's an opportunity to know yourself, and you'll find truth in the common denominator between you and what you'll learn going back through native teachings. You'll be able to hear and find people that sound like you and speak like you, even though you didn't grow up with them and you don't know them, because your ancestry is present in your genetics, in their genetics. The only true God is the potato God. That would be Dagda, the Irish god of the day. I do this shit. Drop your birthdays. I'll do life path readings. It's all I do. I'm just trying to I need 150 more like the video, I need 150 more watch hours until I can get super chats and sell merch and stuff. And I'll just put my fucking clothes on an Etsy site and be like, if you want to buy my shit, I'll sign it. You're gonna have a signed Casey shirt, and that could be a way to donate. Yeah. Isn't that a Technoblade reference? I don't know. I don't watch Minecraft, man. How old are you, Jason? Hey, wasn't Technoblade a pig man? The Pig King? The White Pig King? The king of the pigs? And he died, man. I heard he died. I watch YouTube shorts. Technoblade is a YouTuber. You're 32? Do you have kids that watch Technoblade? You was watching Minecraft videos? Dude, I thought 32 was so old just a year ago, and now that I'm 26, I'm like, 32 isn't old. 32 is like the new 20. 30 is the new 20. Especially because we're going to live longer if you take care of yourselves. Potatoes have more potassium than banana, therefore potato superior. Okay. If you work at a Dunkin' Donuts and you see a hot girl go through the drive-thru and she asks for whipped cream, spray the whipped cream so it's above the thing so you can see what she looks like when she sucks dick. Bobbing her head to get the whipped cream off. Pandemic, I watched Minecraft for the first time. It was some fun. Yeah, dude, Yogscast was lit back in the day when I was like 13. Syndicate Project. Sometimes I used to, this year for like 6 months, I watched Call Me Carson. I watched a lot of Call Me Carson. I love working at Dunkin' Donuts. But now I'm old. I'm 26. I shouldn't be working at Dunkin' Donuts. I should be apprenticing as a ranch hand in Colorado or something. I should be doing shit. I shouldn't be working at a fucking Dunkin' unless I work a couple shifts on the weekends. No Kids Bro honestly had a lot of the same tendency trajectory as you, but then just stopped. It's alright. Parkour Minecraft story. How old are you, Fun? How old are you, man? Where the hell is Boone, man? Spoon Man! Where's Boone, man? You want to travel and learn from people, do video creation? It's not too late. Mobile mechanic, man. That'd be cool. I don't know. I thought you said you were a mechanic. I forgot. I forgot what your occupation was. I thought Jason may have been a mechanic or something. For some reason, mobile mechanic kept coming to my head when I was doing that reading before. But yeah, man. You know, these homesteads around the world need good people. Save up enough money to get a ticket in and get a ticket out. Pick up some skills out in Costa Rica. Learn Spanish. That'd be cool. You'll come back 33, but guess how much culture you would have intermingled with doing the bachata or whatever down there at the beach. Homesteads need potato. Homesteads, I want girls that are beautiful and thick and long black hair or dark hair. Maybe green eyes, but darker skin tone. And I want them now. And I don't know if I'll find them on homesteads. You know what I'm saying? Never been close to a mechanic, man. Well, I don't know. Mechanic kept coming up for you guys. I don't know. I know that it's one of those things that will always be in demand for the rest of your life. Maybe you guys have like something where, or maybe mobile mechanic is like is symbolic of something. You know, it's just the best way I could have unpacked a lot of information. Did you know potatoes was the first vegetable to grow in space? Potatoes are a starch, motherfucker. They ain't no vegetable. Gotta get back to helping people. Yerp. We all do. Hope and no. Giving freely without expectation prevents crime. And builds community the right way. What do you do then, Jason? What do you do then, Jason? Where's Boone, man? Boone, man! Where are you, Boone? It's Capricorn season, Boone. Come on. Potatoes are root vegetables, motherfucker. I heard they was a starch, and starches ain't vegetables, though. I could be wrong. Why does it look like I have sunburn in the middle of winter? I could be wrong, man. I don't know. I don't know, man. What's your life goal, Casey? To not regret it. To not feel like at the end of it I wasted it. Doing side work. I need to get my shit together, man. Yeah, daily routine in the morning, man. Push-ups, shower, brush teeth, supplements. What's it called? What's it, creatine? Take creatine, get a bench press. You know, that's the foundation. You got to build that foundation first before you can do anything in life. So, if you don't have your shit together, that's what I would say, is to get your morning routine down. Or even if you don't gym in the morning, you know, cooking, keeping the fast until noon and doing it later. Like if you don't want to work out you know, all these people tire their body out in the morning and then they live a sluggish day the rest of the day. That ain't the way. Some people get energized from working out, some people don't. It is what it is, but that's the best way to do any, especially next year is a Capricorn year. They say it's an Aries year because of numerology. Because this year is a Sagittarius year. It's a 9 year, 2025. 2026 is a 1, but it's also a 10. You know, I would like to say that next year is going to be a Capricorn year. I'm thinking it's going to be a Capricorn year, and that's why it's dark green instead of, but it's also red, you know, it's dark green and red, so I think it will have Aries and Capricorn qualities. This year was Sagittarius. No, I'm just a bachelor. I thought you had a wife or something. Oh, bachelor's degree. Okay. Next year's going to be a 10 out of a 10 year. I hope so. So much money in schooling. Yeah, I mean, you could go to a college. You could ask around for people with psych degrees on a bulletin board. If they don't mind, say you don't have enough money to learn psychology their way, do you mind if somebody sends you an email of everything they're going to be learning that year, and you just take the time to study exactly what they're studying, and you can just look up MIT lectures. They post them on YouTube. You can find the same lectures you would get paying $100,000. You can find those same lectures on YouTube. You don't have to go to college. All you need to do is a body of work, and then what you do is at the end when you've learned everything that they've learned and you test yourself, you've saved $500,000, and then you go into the school to get tested out of it. You go in and take the same test, and the college will give you the degree if you can pass their test. And it costs money, but it doesn't cost nearly as much as going to the college. You know? And you could probably do it in double the time. Or half the time. I'm so hungry, man, but I don't have anything to eat. I don't have any money. But I've got this and I've got protein bars. So eventually I'll have my protein bar. They're just frozen solid, man. I want to go get a pizza, but I don't have any money. But somebody shared my GoFundMe with their email list, and 7 people donated, and I got to $555. But I'm not pulling that out until I get $2,000. And I can't pull it out because I owe the Federal Reserve $150 because I let a bank account go negative in 2018 and they're still charging me for it. So I owe them like $150, and they will not allow me to open a bank until I pay that. Yeah, it just sucks. All the people that watch my videos, you know, they don't support me, bro. They like want to watch me fail. It's so crazy. There's like out of 800 and something, like I think I'm closer to, I'm like 880, I think at this point, or maybe 60. I don't remember where I'm at, but it's like late 800s. I'd say like 5 of them were supportive, and the rest were waiting to see what happens. They would only like negative comments. They would only like comments of mine where I was crying in pain. You're legit really struggling. You can still do something with mental health, Jason. You seem like someone that wants to help and cares. I'm legit really struggling right now. Again, dude, integrity. I don't know. I'm not sure what that means, man. Like, not a lot of people have integrity. I'm sorry you're struggling, man. But the stuff that came to me was that foundational work fixes everything. The separation between you and happiness is just a number of push-ups. It's all it is. As a man, you get down on the ground and you just do push-ups, and then you go until you're happy. You don't escape into a drug. Do push-ups until you get high off the endorphins, and watch as you. It's scary, you know. And you don't need. I know you don't need a lecture. I know you don't need to hear it, but I'm just encouraging you. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to like berate you and tell you what to do. It's just encouragement. Um, yeah, they're like Christina and Westy. A lot of people have money that they're not doing anything with, and we had a type of friendship, and they would rather watch me suffer than help, you know? And it was hard because my brother died because of it. I wasn't able to get my goals in time to help him, and I couldn't get him out of his environment, and it killed him. My little brother. So I think the people that had the money to help and didn't should hold themselves responsible, because they'd known for months what my plans were, and instead they chose not to do anything. So that's on them, partner. They saw me fighting every day. I gave 110%. I would get to the job and they wouldn't hire me. And they would call the police and lie, and the police would come and attack me. And I would be out there. I was out there until I was dead, basically, with a 106 fever. Because it was 105 in the motel, 103 when I got out of the motel, and it was way worse than I felt with the 105 later. And I stayed there in that sickness for a month, curled up in negative 60 degrees. I tried. And I would, in the negative 60, I would walk to gas stations and jobs in that small town, and I would ask them for help, and they wouldn't. I tried. But I know I still could have done better. Instead of going 11 miles, I could have dragged that 100-pound wagon 25 miles, and I could have got to a ski resort, and maybe there'd be less police out there, and there would be less of more vacant land to crawl into. But maybe there would be a public park I could post up at. Maybe the people would have been nicer because they're wealthier. If I just went to the store and got a piece of paper and put, not a drug addict, but please help me. Maybe that could have made, so I didn't do as much as I could have. But I did go to that ski resort and ask for a job multiple times when I had a car, and they said no. So now I'm in a worse position. I doubt they would help. Do I do drugs? No, I do not do drugs. I just smoke cigarettes. I just smoke. I smoke. I escape from the world, hiding in my den, processing my constant suffering and trauma healing. And occasionally I will jerk off, but that's pretty much it. It's my vices, man. Speaking of, I'm going to smoke a cigarette. Let's even have one. I know I have a butt somewhere. Speaking of butt, I have a snipe out here. This is my last smoke. Heather sent me $100, guys. Heather sent me $100, guys. Everybody say thank you, Heather. I used it to buy phone service for $45. I pulled out 40. I bought some stuff at the thrift store that would help. And I got these nails for when I get the cabin tent. I'm going to build a platform. And I got this coat, which is, it's nice. It was a really good deal on a nice coat. So I got a coat. Another, like a flannel for under my coat that I'm wearing now. and the rest I have in cash and on my card. I've got like $23 or something, so I could go get a pack of smokes if I wanted, but I'm just kind of pushing it and pushing it and pushing it. I don't know if you guys know this. When it's really cold, somebody taught me this recently. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you and your mother. Okay. You fucking abuser. You fucking accuser of the brethren. How did I have it last time? It was so good. Alright. No, so dumpster diving? No. Because they know I go in the dumpsters, they have now locked the dumpsters. So I can't eat food. When I first got here, they told me they didn't even take food stamps when they did. And I would just say, so can you please uncoffee ground? Don't pour the coffee grounds in the dumpster, please. So, or put it in a bag so I can eat tonight. I'm cold. And they would go, get the fuck out of here, you junkie. And now those people all quit and they're gone. And the new people like me a lot. And they give me free food a lot. And I, in return, on the first of the month when I get my food stamps, I offer to buy everybody drinks. So, if I tried doing drugs, when I was 14, I did acid 3 times. And I drank back then a little bit, like 4 or 5 times. Smoked weed twice. Didn't pick up anything. And I did Xanax once. Benadryl, but it didn't really do much. I just threw up. Then when I was 18, I was homeless, living at couch surfing, and they were all doing a lot of drugs. So I was on SSRIs, and when you have SSRIs, it blocks the serotonin and it keeps it in your brain. So when you take in a drug that blows up your serotonin, the drug stays there. So you stay in like this, like, it fucks you up for a long time. But if I wanted to hang out with them, I had to be locked in. I couldn't go in the other room. He wouldn't let me in the other room. I had to stay in his room, and they put the blanket under the door, break out a 4-foot bong, and it was just there. And sometimes I would take it, like maybe 4 out of the 5 times I did it, I'd take a hit, and I would hate every minute of it. I'd feel spiritually attacked, and I felt like they were raping me of my energy and laughing and stealing it. But, I thought that I liked how it felt at first when I could make the music and live in the song. Yeah, there's a lot of shit I don't tell people I've been through. There's a lot of shit that people will never know about on my channel, man. But it's not like rape. Worst sexual abuse I'd ever gotten, other than like guy ripping open my car door and trying to rape me and jerking off outside the car staring at me, was once a sheriff or a state trooper bringing me to court from jail, made me get on my knees, and he pushed his dick against my head, and I was like, and that was the first time I'd ever been arrested. I didn't know. I thought if I moved, he was going to beat me. And they pepper sprayed me, and they left me in jail with no running water, no pillows or blankets for 3 days, and they didn't wash my eyes out. So I have trouble seeing and focusing. I can throw a spear pretty far, and it lands, but it's hard to play pool. And I used to be the best pool player in my town, at least from the people that I went up against. But it could also be staring at a screen all day. Doesn't help either. But living out in the woods gets crazy. It gets crazy. I need the escape. This was the best year of movies I've ever had in my life. We had Sinners, Begonia, Wake Up, Dead Man was great. Thunderbolts was great. Sinners was great. If I didn't say it already. One Battle After Another was great. F1 was pretty good. F1 made me feel like I felt when I was 13, watching those types of movies in the shelter, or 14 when I was in the shelter. Nice. What's scary about the woods is the realization that you get to when you commingle electromagnetically with the mycelial network and you wake up to God and the universe and being in tune with it, where you have an awareness of everything around you that other people don't. And the things that are keeping the other people stuck see you as a threat, and they come at you and target you. And when you realize that everything is about exchanging information and resources, the animals of the forest will get very upset if you start to hold energy and information and start to use it for manifestation, because you're literally pulling from the forest. So they come at you. Animals will come at you screaming. They will approach you and scare you. They will run outside the tent and go, yeah. Bears will come up. Crows every day. They're the worst. They're rapists. They will come in and just take everything and leave you dead. That's why they call it a murder of crows. And they come at me every day. You can find the last short that I uploaded was them taking away my 22 manifestation energy at the start of the zodiac cycle when I had my blessings. They came at me. Until I'm dead, until they kill me and I can't think at all because it's all gone. That's the hard part. But when I can hide in my den and I can focus on something, it takes me away from it. And I can just process my trauma slowly compartmentalize behind me. Okay. I hope that doesn't burn my fucking tent down, but I flicked my ash out there. That's tough. Skinny Queso, White Kai Cenat, One Man Kansas City Chiefs, Not Dead Kurt Cobain. Kurt Kaz, if he didn't learn MMA and wasn't allowed to travel, if he was trapped in Vermont. It's all Casey's. The Tree of Life. It's all me, my oversoul. Queso is me. I am the roots and trunk and tree of which they all are leaves. As a 33 life path, born on the 11th. Sagittarius, Aquarius, Taurus, Sagittarius, Sun, Mercury, Pluto in the 8th house. Aquarius, Moon, Mars, Neptune, and Uranus in the 10th house. Taurus and Saturn in the 1st house. Jupiter and Aries in the 12th. That means in isolation, I grow my crown chakra to the highest possible, like a tree. Kurt was murdered. Kurt Cobain, 27 Club. One time I kept trying to make this, I was really trying to make this album. And one day I woke up and opened my tent and somebody spray painted 27 Club right outside my tent in the Burlington waterfront. And then over here somebody spray painted the Jewish Star of David with a Wi-Fi signal and a bunch of KC symbolism. Like a giant letter K with a crown next to it and a big red 47. And I don't know who those people are, but you never really know what's real and what isn't. Especially people that don't take the time to learn awareness and find their Gnostic awakening. Their gnosis, or their, hypnosis is a forced hallucination. Gnosis is just awakening. People that don't enter Gnosis with Kundalini and stack up their energy inside and enter the dragon through the 33 vertebrae and achieve a higher state of consciousness in connection to the Most High. They can't see the orchestration of God's hand in real time in conjunction and co-creating with your consciousness. You never know if it's a Truman Show or not, man. But there's more evidence suggesting it is than it isn't at this point. And my channel's living proof. It's just buried in 2,000 videos. And I'm looking for editors. I'm looking for a team of editors to start making better content. If anybody's down. I'm looking to just send people content and have them pump it out. And I was trying to do that with The Garage, but The Garage decided to play World of Warcraft instead. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. It's getting fucking freezing, eh? I'm fucking cold, fam. What's my... Okay, I'm at 3 bars. Let's make my bed. This is how to make a bed. When you live in sub-zero weather out in the woods, on top of a mountain, you take a beer from your old days old, eaten many days ago, Chipotle chicken hot pocket. You move your electric blanket on your padded mattress pad, which doesn't really do much. You make this over there, you put this here, and then you have to, every time you have to rip off, because look, your fucking bed is broken and caved in. So you have to leave that there like this so that you can crawl into it later, and you have to give a lot of room up here because as you crawl into it, it moves down. So if you want to be in the bag, you have to bring it further up. Then you just lay this at your feet so that you can pull it up later, like Jamie on Joe Rogan. And then I don't watch Joe Rogan because he's a Jewish cuck. Then Joe Rogan's a Leo born on the 11th, and Alex Jones is an Aquarius born on the 11th, and Aiden Ross is a Libra born on the 11th. Which is why Joe doesn't know shit and he slowly uncovers it. And that's why he plays so many stupid fucking power games about his ego all the time. And that's why Alex Jones is the rebel. And Aiden Ross deals with the battle between two opposing sides. He's the mediator. Like he did with the suburbs and the rappers in the hood. And Casey's a Sagittarius. So we're out in the wild as the elder tree, the connection between the heavens, the underworld, and nature and man. Through the Jupiter or Zeus or Jesus, the highest possible vibrational energy, the most powerful righteous truth. And that's why we live as divine children, having fun, philosophizing and creating new ways to have fun. And it's all momentum based. We ride into battle. Unless you have strong 8th and 12th house placements like I do, which means that most of your life is isolated and alone. Exalted, which is what my last name means. Okay, we have that. My bed is now made. Let's just pull this all up so that I can crawl in easier. The stuff that I want to thaw, I put in there so that I can thaw it with my body heat slowly. Tomorrow I'm going to need these gloves, which are frozen solid. So I'm going to have to take my gloves. Oh God, maybe I won't need them. I'm going to have an emergency sock in my backpack. Emergency sock that I'll use as a mitten if I can't find my other glove. Pulled pork will also be... I think I'm going to keep it frozen and use my ravioli. Because the ravioli that's in there will go bad first. Oh shit, here's my energy drink for tomorrow. I found it. We're just looking for my other glove. Fits like a glove, don't shove, bro. There's my tarot cards. I didn't even know that. Oh, my tarot deck is in here. Wait, let's pull this one out. It's going to be something cool. 2 of Wands. I don't know what that means. We're looking for a major arcana. I know what the major arcanas are. The Hanged Man and the Magician. I don't know what that is. Whatever the Hanged Man is, I'm assuming it's Libra. And the Magician, I'm assuming is maybe Virgo. I don't know. But what's the major arcana from the things that fell? The Milky Way. Okay, universal presence. You could say that that's confirmation. And I bet that's the Tower, isn't it? Yeah. So the universe is creating a moment in my life that will bring divine justice to all the false belief systems. I don't know the minor arcana. But we have Judgment right after 4 of Swords, 2 of Swords, and 8 of Pentacles. Then after that, Ace of Swords, King of Pentacles, and the Moon. And then it ends at the Seven of Pentacles, which I mean, that looks like a garden. That looks pretty nice. After whatever happens, having some steady form of income seems pretty good. I should learn the Minor Arcana. I really should, man. Okay, now we have to find my backpack. What did I just do with all the tarot cards? Okay, I put them in here because I'm a smart cookie. Okay. Now we need my coat for tomorrow. Why don't you just something unknown with tarot? Bro, I'm mostly Irish and Cherokee, LOL. Do you have a gas burner? No. I'm trying to save up for a wood stove, but I can only make money off donations, and occasionally people will pay me to shovel, but it's not very often. But I have a Cash App and a GoFundMe I just posted again, where I'm saving for a car, and I'm not pulling the money out of that GoFundMe until I get a car. But I also have my Cash App in my channel description and a Venmo if people want to donate to help me get things like... Are you on Fent, Jason? I hope not. You don't need to be on Fent, Jason. What you need Fent for that you can't get walking around in the woods? Why not just be crazy? Why do Fent when you can be crazy without drugs? Okay. Dude, I knew a guy named Ernest in Burlington who was a homeless man, and he was like an old black man, and he said one day he cornered me and said, "Hey man, I have a problem." I was like, "What?" And he's like, "I jerk off looking at kids at the park." And I was like, what do I do? What do I do with this? Leave me the fuck alone, bro. And I couldn't because we're outside. I can't fight him. So he was like, "You want a cigarette?" And I was like, "Sure." And I was like, "Well, man, I'm probably not going to hang out with you anymore." And then the next day he was following another homeless kid around. And I rode up on my bike and said, "Hey, bro, he wants to fuck you." And the guy was like, "What?" And they're just like, "That's not your friend. Don't listen to him. Don't listen to him." I was like, "He wants to fuck you, bro. He tried it with me. Goodbye." Why did the Matrix make my phone reconnect? I was saying some shit. Wood stove would be brilliant. Cooking heat. Yeah, I got a cabin tent finally. I worked a few snowstorms and I saved up to buy a quilted cabin tent because mine caved in. Every time the snow comes, I wake up and there's a pile of snow on top of me. And there's nothing I can do. So this is now going to be my storage. And I'm going to move into a quilted cabin tent. So I'm trying to get a tent stove. And you can see I got a bunch of firewood and I've cut some more out there. You can't see actually. Oh, I said I can't be your friend anymore. And the guy was like, whatever. And then within a week, the guy was hanging out with another homeless runaway kid, pretending to be a mentor, and then trying to get him in the tent and sleep with him, like he did to me, and then he did to two other people before me, Phoenix and another kid. And I rode my bike up to him, and I was like, "Hey, bro, what's going on?" And talked to the guy, and the guy was a Marine, and he left in the military, and now he's homeless. He's from Philadelphia. He was in Burlington. And I was like, "That's great, man. If you ever need anything, I've been homeless for 10 years now at this point. My tent's past a skate park down a ways behind the sailing center." And he's like, "All right." And then I was like, "By the way, this guy wants to fuck you. He tries it with all of us. Just get out of this." And that guy was like, "Don't listen to it. Come on, man. That ain't your friend. He is not your friend. I'm your friend." And I was like, "He wants to fuck you, dude." And then I left. Bro, he was going to assault you. Correct people with extreme grace to stop them before they act. Not everyone will reach God with the horrors of this earth. Yeah. You have to lead by example, man. It's the only way to help anyone is to help yourself. But in my position, it was really hard, so I would do my best. And I saw a lot of homeless kids end up raped. And I saved a lot of homeless kids from that fate. So we're thawing this glove out. We're going to put the emergency sock, which I'll have a hand warmer for, because I don't really need my left hand for anything. I'm going to need a glove for. And then I'm just going to There's some hand warmers out there I'm going to take with me. And that should be enough. Did I put my energy drink in here? Where did I do with my fucking energy drink, fam? I've got this one I'm drinking. I don't need that run away. That was a concerning noise. There's my energy drink for tomorrow. So that I can enter psychosis. And with that momentum, I can fight back against the Matrix. And as long as I don't talk, no one will ever know that I'm crazy. Right? I don't look crazy, do I? How could you ever think that I might be crazy? Also, here's the Ireland shirt. When I talk about my foster brother, John Michael, and I, when we met, we were wearing the same exact Ireland shirt. This is the Ireland shirt. And his last name was Murphy. And it's cool that we had Murphy's Law on the back. So I keep that around as like sentimental. Also, we're going to need this. We're going to need this. In this. Your normal fun. Thank you, man. He's preying on vulnerable people sick. Yeah, and he would jerk off to kids at the park, man. And what am I supposed to do about it? So I just warned as many people as I could. And eventually the Somalian immigrants took him in because he didn't tell them. And the Somalian immigrants don't talk to the locals, so. Because the locals treat them like shit. They attack them, so why would they want to be a part of the community, you know? But they can't go back to Somalia because Somalia is bombed and destroyed and and everyone there is going through a bunch of shit. So they're just refugees trying to fight it out. And they're not bad people. Fuck you, man. Why the fuck? Every time. It's like randomly when I start to gain traction, they shut my shit down. It's like every time I'm on a roll and I'm like garnering a lot of good shit that's getting people invested. It will reconnect until everybody leaves, which just obviously looks like a Matrix attack to me. So what the fuck was I even doing? I was talking about how Somalians are nice people and the push-ups that I was doing down there would inspire locals in the community that were of color that didn't really know who to talk to. They seemed kind of loners. They would show up and do push-ups with me and we would talk about music and everything. And I always get to this point where I realize like I'm only weird and crazy to white people and everybody else thinks I'm fucking cool. I thought they were wrong with me till I started hanging out with black people and I realized, oh, maybe I'm just reincarnated or something. Or my ancestors. Or trauma in my life, and growing up alone makes me have common sense and decency. And realness. Either way, I tend to get along more with blacks than whites. Because they understand me. And I get along with veterans. Just probably people that suffered a lot in life. That have been through some shit. Those people I get along with. So I haven't found my glove. I'm just throwing out my trash right here. Okay, we got the hand warmers out there. We got the spare sock I'm going to use as a mitten for work tomorrow. Got this. I need to find my other charging block. That's going to be a problem. At least I could use this one. But that one doesn't work very well. Let's just throw everything over here. Let's just put it all over here now. So that this whole space is open for me to walk through tomorrow. And my Hot Pocket, my last Hot Pocket I'll eat tonight. I'll thaw it up with, I have another one. Hells yeah. That's like Christmas for me. Because I'm going to be running out of food pretty soon. We're just looking for my other charging block. Nails. I need my headphones. I need this. That's how I get in touch with those people. This is my tarot cards that I stuffed in here because the box got wet and broke. This is trash. This is trash. This is trash. This is trash. Throw that bitch out. It will be cleaned one day. Here's my dead little brother. R.I.P. R.I.P.'s in chat. He died this year, and I miss him a lot. I know his mom, if his mom ever heard what I was saying about him, she'd probably be very upset that I tell people about how he died. But I'm really hurt, and I think more people should know. I know it's bad to weaponize the story, but I don't have enough followers that it makes a big difference. And I think it was just how I was processing. Like, I think I needed to say it because I live in denial about it. I live like he's still alive, and he's just not messaging me, and he's just out living his life. Like, my brain will not accept that he's gone, or else I break down. Oh, there's my charging block. Okay, now we're all set for tomorrow, once I thaw the glove. Are my guitar strings still in here? No, but there's... Oh, that's for this. Okay. Hand warmer. Put the one hand warmer in there. Big hand warmer can go on me. All right. Sorry, my man. Tell the truth, brother. You gotta accept it. Yeah. Yeah, he fell and he woke up one morning and said, God, he said, I need to get away from you or they're gonna kill me, to his mom. And then they took him into the hospital for psychosis. He was like, okay, I think I'm fine. And then on the way out from the hospital, he slipped, fell, hit his head, got knocked unconscious on one of the main, it's not Main Street itself, but it's the main street that everybody takes to get to work. And they saw him crawling at 8 o'clock in the morning on their way to work. They saw his body, and they all drove by him, everyone. And I found out because somebody posted about it on Facebook. And then I found out later somebody else posted a picture of his body saying another junkie getting what he deserves. So that happened. They thought he was a heroin addict because his hood was up and he was on the ground dying. So he was crawling for help until he froze to death on Main Street on I think it was a Monday at 8 in the morning, while hundreds of people drove by him on the way to work and nobody helped him. Because of Planet Hank, who created a stigma against homeless people and tried to weaponize the community against them, causing a lot of unnecessary deaths and police brutalities and rapes and a bunch of molestations that we have on camera of police molesting women and holding them down for fun in front of the camera for the stupid piece of shit guy's news show. Then you look into him and you realize before he was a content creator, back when he was posting, he was a content creator, but you couldn't find his content. He was arrested for child porn. He was a child porn content creator. That's how he made his money after the military. And because he was in the military, they let him off with a plea deal, and he didn't have to get on the registry. Unless he's on the registry and we just don't know about it. Like a secret registry as conditions of his release or something. That guy went to war against homeless people. And he united a bunch of white people that were fucking insane. But I think Brattleboro is like the golden spiral. Like the Hopi say, they, in such a small, secluded area, deal with the entire collective consciousness's problems, because as above, so below, as within, so without, the golden spiral, the hero's journey. So I think Vermont being the smallest populated state by, the only other smaller one is Wyoming, but it's a big space. I think Vermont has to deal with a lot of specific problems for the collective. Like, we are living in a movie here. It's like a play. So we have the same things going on as the world. So we have a Capricorn named Hank who united all the white people, and then it got exposed that he's a pedophile. Where else has that happened in America? And Casey defeated him. by having fun instead. Okay. Oh, the only thing I need now, which I can do later, we can put this Tupperware in. Yeah. Out here in the wild east. Hold on. What the fuck happened? I went to sing and they fucking fucked my shit up. Hold on. There we go. Out here in the wild east. Out here in the wild east. Where the leaves change every season. You can drive on the weekend, sit and drink with some real good mac and cheese. Please be sure to come back for the skiing. We're in the business of making memories. We'll be here if you need us. Just don't stay too long after dark. You might get raped by the police. And we won't care unless it plays and sounds nice on our screen. Or comes through at the right time, scrolling on our feed. Once that open sign flips over, only God gonna hear your pleas. Out here in the wicked wild east. Out here in the wild east. We don't care about your feelings. Lose yourself or lose your freedoms. We'll send you straight to the retreat. We will beat you if you feel good. We got kids that think they're real hood that no one cares to teach. Out here in the wild, wild east. We take pride in being mean. You should see how the tourists treat us. So hold your pain and hide them stains, or we'll ask you to leave. And we won't let you in for heat. Drive by laughing as you freeze. 'Cause we all know it's your fault the rich men bleed us. And we won't ever be there with you neither, 'cause we still believe in Jesus. So if you make it to the morning, shut your mouth and stay the fuck far from those leaf peepers. Anywhere where we don't see you. We don't care what's in your veins, who you were before who you became. Play a role or play it safe. 'Cause if we don't put on a good show, then we'll have to hunt to eat. Out here in the wicked wild east. The world's toilet and great escape. Where our problems hide in closets until it's your turn to get raped. I'd help you all, but where were you when they left me in the rain and locked me in the cage, took away my name, took away my brain, paraded me around possessed and put me on display? I lost everything but the legends in my DNA that when I try to give up get me enraged. And I get back up, rampaging through the trauma they engraved. I will see you in the forest. You won't see me till it's too late. So while you're out there drinking, and take a breath. Enjoy how it all tastes. I am something ancient. I've been through more wars than you could name. I watched you when I waited, picking needles way up haystack. I had a mountain to myself before the rich men north of Richmond came. Building Legos with the legend in a Labrador, way out there in nature. I let you think I'm crazy and find creative ways to hate me. I found it entertaining. I couldn't find a therapist who'd stay. I was too good at playing games. But your pride and your selfish ways cause you to make mistakes. I have a list you know you made, and an army in the shade of the acacia with a plan for the escape. You'll be somewhere under waves of crackheads and hurricanes, and I'll be with them foreign girls that love to feed me grapes. I only came to break my people from their chains, tell jokes and get laid, and make my name last as long as my last name. Que hasa Francois O'Brien. Wake up. The one you left to die, the only one left standing, the life you'll never live, the love you don't deserve to understand, the tree of life, the golden spiral, grown from an abandoned orphan child, alien, indigenous, and Irish, who gave everything he had to help the ones he met along the way. He died, wandering alone, fighting to save the lives of those who ostracized him. Only the forest heard his cries. Somewhere deep a green heart writhes, glowing, growing, that caring soul survived, and now he's in the air you breathe, thriving. Bittersweet parasites. But the blood is on your hands. One day you'll lose your mind, come to your senses, and look through that horizon, And see, it's always been exactly as I've planned. I'm those iridescent lights, blinking billions of eyes. Everything you think you know's a lie. I am vigilance incarnate, the first and last wildfire. And you're all my favorite albums. I'm the case you live inside. I still take you out and play you as I drive. Flying down these dirt roads with a bear cub and a peregrine, my heroine beside. The greatest gift this world created is the illusion of goodbye. You're either with me or you will be cast aside. Either way, you are all going to die. And I will wake up fine when it's time to do it all again. From now until forever, I'm Casey. It ain't my fault you're retarded. Sorry. Swag. You're a retard. You're a loser. And now you're gone. And I'll never see you again. Sorry. One day you'll lose your mind and come to your senses and look through that horizon and realize it's always been exactly as I've planned. And that's called The Wild East. I've got a couple other ones. I've got about 100 songs. But poems, I wrote a kid story once called The Elephant and the Old Man and the Elephant. And I don't remember it fully, but it was like, once there was this old man in a village. His back leaned with time, or his hut leaned with time, and his back did too. I don't have it verbatim, but basically it was like he would lay in his hut alone, and when people would try to talk to him on his way to and from the river to get water, as he would limp old, he would bark at them and get angry, and people left him alone because they said the elders said his soul had grown rotten, and they left him be in his hut that was literally leaning like my fucking my tent is broken too. And then one day, this traveling group of tradespeople came, and they had an elephant with a young elephant with a limp leg, and they couldn't bring it any further. They left it tied to a post, and they left it for the people of the village to do whatever they wanted, whether they wanted to kill it or raise it, whatever. They just didn't. They left it, and they left the elephant chained to the thing, didn't know what to do with it. And every night the elephant they would show up in the morning and find that the post was empty, and they wouldn't know where to go, where it was. And then they eventually found it laying outside the old man's hut, playing with a stick and just drawing things in the sand. So they would get the elephant back, and they'd bring it back to the post, and every night it would break free and would go back to the old man's hut. So eventually they were like, okay, it knows where it belongs. It's broken, it's useless, leave it with the rotten old man. The rotten old man, laying in his hut, exactly as I do actually, the same way I stare out of the hole in the tent, he would stare out of the thatch to the world beyond him, laying bitter in his hole. The elephant would stay outside, farting and and the old man would get mad and throw shit at it and fuck off, in his language, and the elephant wouldn't leave. Eventually, he gets up to confront his oppressor, and he gets to the doorway and he falls because his leg is bad and he's old, and the elephant catches him in the trunk and just gently lays him on the ground, and the old man can't get back up. So he lays there angry and pissed and yelling, and eventually he cries, and then he just says nothing, and he lays there. The elephant doesn't get mad. The elephant doesn't do anything really. It just sits there and listens. Occasionally it'll pick up the stick and start drawing with the stick in the dirt. And eventually, the old man has the strength to lift himself on top of the elephant and go back into his hut. And the village saw it. Eventually, they'll see the elephant and the man walking together to the river, using each other to hold themselves up as best they can. You know, it's mainly the elephant doing the work. But the old man carried the water. And something changed. Eventually, the old man started going outside a lot more. He left his hut often, and they would see him not mad, but quiet. Not smiling either, but talking to the elephant. He built a little place for the elephant to lay, and eventually he'd start bringing more water than usual, and he would start watering around the hut, and he built a garden. And instead of laying in the hut angry, even though he was unable to move, he would go out to the garden every day and work on his crops and flowers and things. And the elephant would stay there the whole time. And eventually, one kid came up and asked if it was okay to hang out, and the old man was like, "Fuck no!" But the elephant played with the kid. And eventually more kids came the next day, and the next day, and the next day. And then suddenly all the kids are here. And when they were done with their chores or whatever in the village, they would come sit by the elephant and the man. And eventually the man would speak and hang out. And he liked to tell stories. And the kids would listen. He said that once he was a great warrior from a place far away. And he traveled for many battles. And he built a village of himself. And that village, he became the chief and brought it to prosperity. But a sickness came and wiped everyone out, and he didn't have the knowledge or experience or understanding to save them. And everyone in the village died or moved on, and he was left alone as a great chief once, but he just wandered alone until he just found a riverside and set up a quick hut and laid there ashamed, staring through the thatch walls at the world beyond, holding on to the dead dreams of everyone he lost and failed. And as he laid there for who knows how long, because there's no winter down there in the desert, but eventually more people found that river and built a village. And over time, he became the outcast of a place that he founded, you know? He was there before the village was even there. You know? So I wrote that. Is that everybody left him. And it turns out he was greater than all of them the whole time, but he failed from something he couldn't control. Yeah, I wrote it I just sat down one night and wrote it. There's not much to do out here. It's called The Old Man and the Elephant. It's on my Facebook. Nobody liked it. Nobody liked it. Nobody likes my stuff on Facebook because they know me personally. You'll never get love and support from the people you grew up with. You have to go somewhere else and get love and support from strangers. That's just how it works. If I post a video on Facebook, I'll get 500 views and no likes. If I post a video on YouTube, I'll get 30 views and 4 likes. You know? But I also have tons of songs. I have 4 albums I'm trying to make. But I've been waiting on my birth certificate from just outside New York City for a year, just about. It's just a children's book, man. It's not that special. But my albums, man, and the TV shows I've written, Wildfire and Tower Prep, The Sundance Story, The Storm, the Casey series. I'd really like to do that. I'd really like to make that happen. I was hoping by now I'd have enough money to buy an RV, paint it black, make the seats green, get green couches and seats in there like a green room, and put a studio in the back, get a Cane Corso dog and a black lab, probably black lab puppy for comfort, and a Cane Corso to keep the black lab in check and also for protection, maybe a cat, and then travel and write my stuff and make content on the internet. I can probably get a passport. I just need a birth certificate, and that was in my car. My car got stolen. Yeah. I appreciate it, man. If you want to edit shorts of me that are funny, you just want to edit shit together like Will Survives, you know how he does his stuff. Just like go back through my videos and take certain stuff and make them fun, and then we'll post it on Facebook and get it going. Or if you have a rich grandma, send her my GoFundMe for Christmas and be like, hey, this is my friend, he's going through some shit. You know? It's all we can do. It's just, or, you know, if you're like on the shitter one day, just click every Casey video, like it, and then comment an emoji, and then go down the list. Every time you like it and comment, it boosts the algorithm and goes to more people and refreshes it in the algorithm, so it reaches more phones. And then more people will find it. I'll be sitting and hanging out with 30 people instead of 5. Hopefully I won't be ranting like this anymore, and I'll be able to play video games and have fun and do things, so it's not like this. I will somebody, but I would rather just Zelle or Cash App every minute. Yeah, that's fine. My Cash App Venmo is in my channel bio. At some point, if I make $1 million, I'll just go through my cash or some amount of money. You know, the plan is to just give it all back with like whatever extra. Like if you send me $100 now, there's a good chance next year I'll be able to send you 120. You know, that's the plan at least. If I'm able to get there or not, I'll let you know. That's the thing I'm doing. That's the plan, is to give everything back to everybody plus eventually. Shabbat Shalom, America Kirk. Shabbat Shalom. Getting dome from a girl with an extra chromosome. You heard? That's just how I'm feeling tonight. I don't need anything back. Just want to see you succeed. I appreciate it, man. Should I sing a song? I don't know. I'm barely alive, bro. Authenticity's pretty hard. I kind of just rant and see what happens. I don't try anymore. In my head, you're in my bed, waiting for the day I wake up scared. You'll tell me it's okay, I'll take you anywhere. I know you hate me, we made mistakes, but if we can just escape somewhere away from all the pain, maybe the memories we make will fill up all the holes we made. But you're gone and that's okay, I'll fold your blanket up and leave it in my safe place. I know they hate me, they think I'm crazy, but they don't understand just what it takes to be out here every single day, isolated and afraid. The angels keep me sane when I'm alone and I'm in danger. Don't worry about me, girl, it's okay. I'm outside singing in the rain without a safe place. And I've got 2 Celtic music artists, and I made a beat for it, and I have Celtic artists, like folk artists, that want to play guitar and violin for that. You know what, though? I do have my guitar back here, bro. I do have my guitar back here, man. I could do a little something. Beer might be able to help. Is it tuned? I did go get extra strings, but oh, I tuned it weird. It's out of tune. I can tune it really quick. You gotta go get it on live. Let me know a price and we'll send it to your Venmo right now. Dude, it's whatever you could. It's not, you know, it's whatever. It's whatever, man. I'm saving for a tent stove right now. I work shoveling. There's a business that pays me to shovel sometimes when it snows, and it doesn't snow very often, but when it does, it's heavy, so it takes the whole day. I'm gonna go tomorrow. I'm not sure if they need me anymore because it's Christmas. I don't know if they even need it, but I'm gonna shovel. So I'll get some money, but I'm trying to get between 150 and 300 is my goal for the tent stove. Because I want one that won't fall apart and burn me or let off CO2 and I'll wake up dead because of inhaling that shit. A pizza is like 20 bucks. Out here, I think I could get a cheese pizza for 15. If you want to do 15 for that, I'll probably end up saving it. I'll probably end up just putting it towards the tent stove anyway, but if you specifically say, that's the rule I have for donations, is that if you put in the donation, it's for a pizza, I will go buy a pizza. You know? It's nice, and I'm not complaining, you know? Like sometimes a guy, Uncle Will send me $5 and it says for food, so I go buy food with it. What time is it? I'll go get it. I can't get a pizza now, but I can get one tomorrow, man. Thank you. I am out of food. I've got this frozen thing of ravioli. I've got a couple protein bars. And I've got one Hot Pocket left. After this one tonight. And I don't know if I'm getting food stamps next month, to be honest. Because I need a 20-hour work requirement, and I can't get work till I get my birth certificate for the 2 forms of ID. And I can't get my... It just hasn't shown up. We've put the application in twice. But they say... I was born an hour outside of New York City, and they say that they have like 100,000 requests a year. Because there's a lot of people there. They said... I think they said 100,000, or maybe they have 100,000 population or something. But they're just an hour outside of New York. So they say there's a huge, long-ass, months-long wait time. But I bet maybe if I can get the car first, because I only need my license to get it registered. So if I can get my car, get it registered. I have to tune my guitar real quick. I don't know. I don't know many songs, man. I have a lot of my own songs. And I smoke a lot of cigarettes, so my voice is kind of fucked up. It kind of fucked up. I'm in energy battles all day in the Matrix, man. If your car, your job, and your wife make you happy, then why do you need to steal my peace? I like Dadgad because it's blue. It's blues on one side. The first 2 are blues. But then it's... It's out of tune, but it's Celtic. It's Celtic to the other side. I'll tune it really quick and come back, man. Dude, man, it's gonna suck. Because I'm missing a G string. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Heather. I don't think they're even here. I don't even think they're even here, man. I think they're gone. And my phone screen. There you go. There we go. I miss my mom. I miss my dad. I miss my house and what we had. It ain't that bad. 'Cause I still have it all in here, and I can go back anytime that I feel sad. I miss your smile, the way you laugh, I miss your eyes, and what we had, it ain't that bad. 'Cause you moved on, but in my heart, you're laying with me. But you're all gone, I'm still around, wandering anywhere. From my hometown, I'm scared to see what they built on what burns down. You're all here in my memories. I keep like an old 8-track of classic CDs. I play as I lay back and fall to pieces, terrified of what I can't see. I'm on a hill next to a tree, staring out at the bittersweet, the ghosts of you and what I couldn't do, a symphony. I miss my mom, I miss my dad, I miss my house, and what we had, it ain't that bad. Vodka whiskey's gonna ease my mind. Beach towel dress on the drying line. The sand from your hair is blowing in my eyes. Blame it on the beach, grown men don't cry. Do I remind you of your daddy in my 88 Ford? Labrador hanging out the passenger door. Do you remember that beat down basement couch? I'd sing you my love songs and you'd tell me about how your mama ran off in the Ponderay. I remember everything. Cold shoulder, closing time, you were begging me to stay until the sun rose. Strange words come on out of a grown man's mouth when his mind's low. Pictures and passing time, you only smile like that when you're drinking. I wish I didn't, but I do remember every moment of the nights with you. Remember every moment on the nights with you. You're drinking every day just to ease your mind. When the hell are you gonna ease mine? You're like concrete feet in the summer heat. It burns like hell and hits 2 stone deep. No, you'll never be the man that you'll always swore. But I'll remember you singing in that 88 Ford. Cold shoulder, closing time, you were begging me to stay until the sun rose. Strange words come on out of a grown man's mouth when his mind's broke. Pictures and passing time, you only smile like that when you're drinking. I wish I didn't, but I do remember every moment on the nights with you. Remember every moment on the nights with you. The sand from your hair is blowing in my eyes. Blame it on the beach, grown men don't cry. Do I remind you of your daddy in my 88 Ford? Labrador hanging out the passenger door. Do you remember that beat down basement couch? I'd sing you my love songs and you'd tell me about how your mama ran off in the Ponderay. I remember everything. Cold shoulder, closing time, you were begging me to stay until the sun rose. of a grown man's mouth when it's mine's throat. Pictures and passing time, you only smile when you're drinking. Wish I didn't, but I do remember every moment on the nights with you. I remember every moment on the nights with you. Thunder clouds and passing rain keep me trapped inside a cave, dreaming about when I'm on stage. Something clicks and I finally find my place. But I know one day soon the spotlight's shining down on us all are gonna fall. Will they love me for all my flaws, or judge me for all my faults? And maybe I would be someone if I didn't waste my whole life lying down, freaking out about the things I can't figure out. I climbed up that mountain and I found out we've got it all wrong. The view is cool, but they only play sad songs. And I sat down with the superstars and they told me they'd rather lose it all than be anyone who can do anything. Maybe it's a trap, and being famous ain't all that. 'Cause every step you climb is a sacrifice, and the farther you rise, the further of you got left to die. Until you sat atop your pile of trophies alone, and begging God why. And he'll show you the mountains, he'll show you the trees, he'll take you by a riverside with the birds and the bees. He'll show you the kids and they saw on their screens while their parents argue about Ponzi schemes. He'll show you you, and he'll show you me. Everything I did to help you see before I gave up on you, and it broke my heart in two, but it set me free. So if you need to, I won't compete. I'll exit stage left and let you play the lead. You can be the king of make-believe. And when you find it ain't all what it's cracked up to be, you won't find me. 'Cause I'll be in Hawaii. Shit's different outside the cabin. Energy's kind of fucked up, but what can you do? I warned everybody a couple months ago this was gonna happen, but when I left the cabin, that was in the night. In the night, I hear him. You heard that? In the night, I hear him talk. The coldest story ever told. Somewhere far along this road, he lost his soul to a woman so heartless. gun. Carol's got a little if we need some. Joe's got a ride if you wanna come. Hanging your jeans with a clothespin. Skin still wet, still on my skin. Mango in your mouth, juice dripping. Shoulder of your shirt sleeve slipping. Christmas Eve with your mother and sis. Don't wanna fight, but your mother insists. Dog's white teeth sliced right through my fist. Take me to the ER and they put me on a wrist. Grocery store list, now you get pissed. Unchecked calls and messages. I don't wanna be the owner of your fantasy. I just wanna be a part of your family. And I don't wanna talk about anything. I don't wanna talk about anything. I just wanna kiss your eyes again. Witness your eyes looking. And I don't wanna talk about anyone. I don't wanna talk about anyone. I just wanna sleep in your car while you're driving. Lay in your lap when I'm crying. Circle of pine and red oak. Circle of a moss and fire smoke. Fan on the ceiling like a wheel spoke. Push the clutch in and pull the choke. I just wanna feel the sound of your brinking. Wanna feel your hands soothe. Listen to your heart beating. Listen to the way you move. And I don't wanna talk about anything. I don't wanna talk about anything. I just wanna kiss your eyes again. Witness your eyes looking. And I don't wanna talk about anyone. I don't wanna talk about anyone. I just wanna sleep in your car while you're driving. Lay in your lap when I'm crying. Weren't we the stars in heaven? Weren't we the salt in the sea? Dragon in the new warm mountain. Didn't you believe in me? You held me the whole way through. When I couldn't say the words like you, I was scared into going, but I wanted to. I was scared into going, but I wanted to. And I don't want to talk about anything. I don't want to talk about anything. I just want to kiss your eyes again. Witness your eyes looking. And I don't want to talk about anyone. I don't want to talk about anyone. I just want to sleep in your car while you're driving. Lay in your lap when I'm crying, singing. Stars in heaven, weren't we the salt in the sea, dragon in the new warm mountain? Didn't you believe in me? You held me the whole way through. When I couldn't say the words like you, I was scared into going, but I wanted to. Scared into going, but I wanted to. All day, all I see is you. Hiding from unspoken rules, fighting for some broken purpose. I'll never be good enough, but I'm dying to be. I've been talking to a 45, and I think it agrees with me. It ain't my fault they kicked me my whole life. It left me out dysfunctioning. And I wish you would call me back, so I can hear you hide the truth. We got something wrong inside, and that's why I'm in love with you. I can't save you, No matter how hard I try, we're out of time. Too many burnt pages, story we'd hide inside. And I can't change you, no matter how far we drive. We can't leave behind the troubles we're trapped inside. You were my whole way of life, the new world, Bonnie and Clyde. And ain't no one can stop us if they try. I protect my cabin with railroad spikes, so I can try to find some sleep. But something out there keeps on trying. It's gonna give me one of these nights. So send me off my broken boat, captain of a hopeless dream. Match my rhythm and hold me one last time. Leave that launch and pray the sea's good to me. 'Cause I've been talking to the stars at night, and I think they agree with me. It ain't my fault you ain't did me right. Dodged that bullet, but it left some holes from you. I can't save you, no matter how hard I try. We're out of time. Too many burnt pages of the story we'd hide inside. And I can't change you, no matter how far we drive. We can't leave behind the troubles we're trapped inside. You were my whole way of life, new world, Bonnie and Clyde. And ain't no one can stop us if they try. But we knew this car's gonna die, and it'll putter out at the lights, that the end of the road is barely getting by. Now we're just the tracks we left behind. What's up, Spence? My body's a lighthouse, her eyes on the sunset. My heart is a car I don't know how to fix yet, but you start my engines, I'll drive 100 miles just to crash with you. I love like a wildfire, burning through the mountains. I'll tear this whole city down until I found it. Something that feels close to a love that's true. Well, I hear voices in my head. It gets worse when I get out of bed. I don't trust that I'll find a love who understands. So leave me be and let me smoke my cigarettes. 'Cause deep inside I'd rather be dead. 'Cause I make choices that lead to dead ends, led by a broken mind afraid of itself. I just can't find no one who can look at me with respect. 'Cause the cops gave me trauma, and the crows ate the rest. And I don't know how to be human again, so don't talk to me. 'Cause I'm tired of pretending all good things should end. All these voices in my head get so beautiful you couldn't comprehend. And they tell me one day you'll see me somewhere way out there with the best, and you'll all come back and want to be my friend. But For now I'm a monster that haunts at 3 a.m. Well, it's been hard to catch my breath, running from the knowing I won't see you again. But sometimes something somewhere way out there tells me to just be grateful for the simple little moments we spend. Maybe it's better that you're a voice in my head. Wait. No, I still just have one broken string. And it sucks because that's the one string you need, man. You need the G string. You can't do anything. You're fucked without a G string. You're fucked. You're simply fucked. If you have no G string, and I have... What the fuck? You hear that crow? Why was there a crow? You heard that crow? Why did a crow go... There's no crows around here, man. They live on the other side of the river. What are y'all doing at night out here, fam? Unless that was a animal, like a deer going... I'm actually much better at singing, but I've been smoking and I live in a very bad place. And it just has bad energy, man. Stagnant, stale, addicted energy harvested by evil people. And I feel constantly unable to get back into it, man. My abundance and flow state through this narcissistic piece of shit. And they know who they are, man. And God's coming for them. Ah! My fucking camera fell. My heart, my soul, take my hand, girl, grab a hold, we can go somewhere remote, don't nobody have to know, only us, girl, just us two, let's escape, forget the world, open up and lose control, just sit back and let us float, 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 float. Girl, what you doing after this? Come and get a smoothie with a kid. As a matter of fact, I got a bottle of wine back at the crib. You can pull up loose the shoes and we can kick it if your man calls. It's just what it is. Don't you know nobody else is doing this? I don't even have to see the shot to know when to switch. So baby, here's my phone. Drop them digits. And we can find a way away from all this bullshit and stay uplifted. You know, I was born to wear the pants. Everyone around us is just stuck inside this trance. Take my hand, get up and dance. Girl, I like the way you move. Come real close, get in the groove. I'll take the lead, it's nothing new. Come real close. Wait, I'll take the hand, it's nothing new. What do we really have to lose? You look at me, I look at you. You bite your lip, the room is zooming. Feel the love, it's what we're here to do. My heart, my soul, take my hand, girl, grab a hold, we can go somewhere remote, don't nobody have to know, only us, girl, just us two, let's escape, forget the world, open up and lose control, just sit back and let us float. I knew I was destined for the limelight. I get high and fight back when the time's right. There's no way they could take away my mind sight. Cause I came up off Legos and a light bright and I can knock a bitch out like I'm Mike Tyson. I said I'll knock a bitch out like I'm Mike Vick. I got about 1,000 kids bumping my shit. Get the fuck off my dick before I cancel you like Christmas. I'm on 1,000 rappers hit list and 1,000. I'm on 100 rappers hit list and 1,000 women's wish list. I've been on the front lines for a minute, psychologically killing these bitches. All of my women invested in fitness. I run a business investing in the holy mission and building a kingdom off the grid with no emissions. From Maine out to Oahu, I've been told y'all I could go the distance. And I don't give a fuck about the who's who. All you pussies mad just because she wouldn't choose you. I'm on Mount Olympus shooting lightning like I'm Zeus. I'm the problem and the proof. I tell your pastor what to do. I just designed a stage for crickets, chickens, kale, and spinach, solar, and a coop. I got people waiting for me from here to Honolulu. I'm a big body button heads with moose. And you'll never get it misconstrued. I know exactly what the truth is. I'm just tiptoeing through these truces till I'm tall enough to lift up all the youth. And if I fail, I might just build a zoo. Deep in the night, the winds blow cold, and in the heartbeat of fear takes hold. Do. Deep in the storm, there's a place that's soft and still, where the road waits to be taken if you only will. The voices inside you that lead you so astray. Believe in what you dream, or turn away. Don't you turn! A big zombie loud. Zombie sound effects approaching. And that's the intro to I've been on the front lines for a minute, psychologically killing these bitches. All of my women invested in fitness. I'm in a business investing in the holy mission and building a kingdom off the grid with no emissions. From Maine to Colorado, I've been told y'all I could go the distance. I pulled up to the party and they made a way. I guess that's what I'm made for! I forgot the rest, bro. I wasn't supposed to say it, and something told me don't say it, and then I went to say it, and now I cannot remember the rest. I went out and took everything you sat around and prayed for. I broke about the box, and then I jumped right off the stage, bruh. All you lames are walking on the avenues we paved. I can make $100K on OnlyFans any day. I got shooters from Miami. They'll be here when we escape. When my family goes insane, I pull up and I set them straight. The only way that you could chill with us is if you start to train. You a lame and you ain't about shit. Quit playing. I work hard every day just so I can maintain. They slowed down and lost their brain, went and drove themselves insane. Now they're walking wearing copies of my face. Half these towns are bitter because my dick is bigger. I got their women in my whip and none of us is quitters. If I find out that you hit her, you're gonna end up just like... Threw him in a lake somewhere out of state. He forgot his name, asked to wear his chain. I was born insane. I'm used to these restraints. They tried to stop the wave. I had to tell them it's too late. I got about 1,000 kids I trained telling me that I'm the man. I'm the motherfucking man. I'm the man. I'm the motherfucking man. I'm the... And that's my little brother on the chorus going, you the man. You the motherfucking man. You the man. You the motherfucking man. You the man. You the motherfucking man. And you would not believe the sample I used and what the beat actually sounds like. It's different. It's cool. I like it a lot. Angel Eagle, come on down from the heavens just to help us on our way. Yahweh. They come to teach us, then they leave us to find some other souls to save. Angel Eagle, come on down. Hear my drum because I need you now. Fuck you! Fuck you all! Bitch! I feel absolutely nothing! Bring it back! I need rest, water, sunlight, fasting, sunlight, ketosis, autophagy, apoptosis, neurogenesis. I need vitamin D and omega-3s and multivitamins, and I need to get the fuck away from here because they're all a bunch of, not queers, but a bunch of pussy-ass bitches. A bunch of horrible people, and because of my vulnerable position, they take advantage of me. They beat me down and use me for dominant energy for their own ego. They can't even see me past the idea of me in their own heads because they're so trapped. And I just sit there suffering abuse, trying to get my needs met in a way God has made almost impossible. Without the kindness of others. The whole thing is Casey has to ask for help. Isn't that crazy? I'm so determined to do it on my own. My only challenge is, Casey, you have to ask for help. You know? And the help I need is not a therapy session. It's not going to a mental health institution. It's just find the people worth $100 million. Like Mark Menderson down in Florida. The guy that had the assault rifle and whipped his dick out, and it was -15, and my car was out of gas. I didn't know what he wanted. He didn't want to fuck me. He just wanted to jerk off holding his assault rifle in the same room as me. Do I get much trouble from cops? Yeah, I've been jumped by cops like 4 or 5 times. One time I got pinned to a door, thrown on the ground, maced. They didn't wash my eyes and they left me in jail for 3 days with no running water, pepper spray in my eyes, and no pillows or blankets. And I think twice they chucked a McDonald's burger in for me. I've been ripped out of the car before, and then I'm like, they searched and dragged and face fucking scratched and knee on the neck, and I'm like screaming, please stop, why are you doing this? And they say, oh, you fit a description. And they just showed me a picture on Google of a young guy in his 20s. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it happened in Plattsburgh, New York in April of 2022. And then I went to live at the Stonehelm Motel, and then the Stonehelm Motel burned down, and the Red Cross gave all of us $500. You know, have the inbred retard whites found my page? Because that's what the devil does. When I start to speak some truth, we always have inbred retard white people that come in just to spew their garbage because they're genetically inferior and they were raised by Jewish people to be cattle. So they're trapped in their box and they have no alternative perspective. So they really honestly believe that they're right and everyone else is wrong. And nobody taught them anything different, bro. And if you're like this still, and that's what it is, you're either young and still in high school and all you got was your phone and you haven't gained enough experience to get a better perspective, or you're just miserable pieces of shit, bro. Later. You know? You know? What can you do? And they come in waves. Have you noticed? They come in waves. The algorithm knows who they are in their comments, and they just like test the waters. Like, I wonder what happens when they see when those people find Casey. And the point is that the universe literally made that happen so that I could say that to them. They need to understand their Jesuit cattle, you know? They need to understand that they were cows made by Jewish people to farm them and force their families to work. And they gave them slaves not to work for them, but to make them not realize that they're also enslaved by giving them comfort, so that generations of them would breed, and eventually now they can sacrifice their children to Epstein's Island, and they can have the girls sacrifice themselves through the black screen to their Masonic Black Mirror demonic networks. They have the girls shaking ass and filming porn now. All it took was convincing some inbred yokels a couple hundred years ago that everything was going to be fine if they worked hard. And they let them have their boats and shit, knowing that 300 years down the line, white people will be gone. And everyone will be brown. So they gave them the stupid, comfortable life. And look what they did with it. They sit on here talking shit. White privilege is real. You say it's not because you don't use it. Only stupid people don't believe in white privilege. Yes, black people can get opportunities if they're white enough. Sacrifice themselves to the black rock and destroy their sense of connection with nature and call it sophistication. Follow the rules by a Saturnian black cube matrix designed to siphon your life force energy and keep you all enslaved. But that's fine because you can jet ski on the weekends. You can only survive off the pain and suffering of others. And all your spirit is just how much energy can you farm from others. So you spend your whole life bragging about conquering and playing stupid dominance games and attacking the other. Because if you let go, you'd realize all of it's bullshit. And it's all those stupid hierarchies, that pyramid scheme. We man sham. Yeah, the Irish are the true chosen people that the Jews claim to be. The Irish people are the Israelites that talks about the world will be against them and see them as the enemy until they persevere righteously and overcome the world and become the rulers of the world. The Jews that were made only 500 years ago, Jewish people became existent. And they decided, no, we're the true Israelites, and we are Israel, and we are all this nonsense. No. Look at who the world has been at war with for 2,000 years. The Irish in the little island have been constantly under attack by the Vikings and the Catholics and the colonialism, and they've had to survive basically starved and trapped like I am in this life, and they've had to grow out and innovate new ways to maintain themselves or be lost forever. The world doesn't see Israel as the enemy. They see the righteous as the enemy. Israel's not righteous. Israel's a bunch of fags that believe that they're the chosen people because their granddaddy told them so. So they are perpetuating a narrative that the Jews are evil, expecting the world to turn against them so that they can beat the world and rule them, and that's what the Bible says. But they're creating that. The reality is that the Native Americans or the ancient Egyptians and the Irish and the Moors, the Africans that were around, were all together at one point seafaring and had a whole breakaway civilization from the rest of that shit going on. And eventually, some say that they transcended to space and left behind the pyramids as a black box. And the more advanced our civilization, they believe the more morally evolved we'll become. So just like we had the pyramids for 2,000 years, 2,000 years later, or however many years, like have we been talking about the pyramids, eventually now we have technology capable of looking below it, and we realize that below it, hidden, and the only way to find it was with LiDAR. Once we have found LiDAR, now we found that there's a whole bunch more shit down there. So as technology advances, AI will get better. AI will be able to take their codes and do things only an AI capable at this level is able to do. And it will uncover the codes to access those things because we should be morally superior than we were before at that point. We'll be allowed to access the things that breakaway civilization or the glowing-eyed star people that the natives say they descended from, or the Tuatha De Danann that the Irish talk about, or the devils and the Leviathan and the reptiles that the Jews say they get their power from. Those things, or the Greys that come up from the ground and eat the Inca babies, the Grey aliens. You know what I'm saying? The English had a chance to be the Irish, but they broke off, and now they need to chew wood in order to stop their teeth from growing. And they're a bunch of inbred pussy yokels that have no testosterone because they have been the bitch to the royal family for 1,000 years. The Irish people have the most testosterone, and the Scottish because they've been fighting back against pussy-ass bitches for 2,000 years. But I'm not as Irish as an Irishman. I'm Irish, but I'm American. And I'm Native American. And I'm African. You can't get O-positive blood unless you got some African in you. Hate to say it, guys. And O-positive is the most common. So we've all got a little bit somewhere. Goats? No, those are the Jews. Not the greatest of all time. But the Saturn worshipping, children raping, foreskin slathering on their face, losers. Goyim. Me and my kids every morning, Shabbat Shalom, after Israel kills her husband. Every morning, Shabbat Shalom on the news, on the news, bro. She's like, every morning, Shabbat Shalom. Dylan, it doesn't say that on my passport. Shabbat Shalom. I get dome from extra chromosome. And I'm cold and alone, but that's okay. I want to go home, but I ain't never had one. Living off of passion, hiding from the storm. They say life gets better as we suffer. So I don't talk to God unless I wish we could love each other, make mistakes, and learn to move on from one another. I love you all, but I got no love for you motherfuckers. So if you need to find me, you won't find me. Because I'm way out in the north, somewhere in the forest, hiding from the storm. Sleeping on somebody's porch, smoking on a cancer stick. I know it's bad for my health. I'll see you in hell. Take off on my motorcycle. Way beyond that grand horizon. I'll take the blame so you can play pretend. I'll see you at the end. I wish you all the best. I'll see you in hell. I'd rather die a legend, adorned with a crown made of thorns, floating aflame to the sound of the horns, than to be strung out at the lake at the end of my rope, surrounded by the ghosts of my so-called friends, fading away to the same old songs about where it went wrong. Well, the cops and the cunts and the creeps and the crows all want the same thing, to rip and tear at your soul. So before the morning comes, something else can come and try and grab a hold and take control, and now they own you. Oh, when I was just a boy, they all told me I was blessed, and something about me means I'm meant for success. Now they all talk shit behind my back, put a target, told the town I'm hooked on crack, and that I'm messed up in the head and I need meds because I don't want to work a stupid fucking job and pretend I have a boss. But when I can't get to sleep, I think of old folks' homes, where the spiteful little bullies cry until they die alone, 'cause the world they built by beating others only did 'em wrong, 'cause no one taught 'em how to love. And I hope that they see me on my Indian scout when I take their little girls on a ride around town. And they have to bitch to God 'cause the nurse don't care to hear 'em cry about it, 'cause she's on TikTok showing off her butt. And before they meet their grave and the good Lord takes them away, I hope the final breath they take is followed by a list of names, and somewhere along the way I get an I'm sorry or an island from their estate. And the cops and the cunts and the creeps and the crows will have another friend to follow everywhere I go. And I'm so grateful for him, 'cause without him I wouldn't have ever known the value that I hold. I'm off the edge, lost in my head, where it all makes sense. Is this the end? Can we be friends? 'Cause I fucking hate you, but you inspire me. Casey the Plastic Patty? I don't even know what that means. Hey Patty, are you British? Microplastics? I don't eat. This is all the Matrix, man. This is all spiritual warfare, man. This is all extra-dimensional entities and greater intelligences attaching to us and raping our life force energy out of our hearts so that we can't move and live in spirit, man. This is trapped in the Matrix because I have no fucking way to get out of it, man. And the people are all possessed, man. And they attack me when I walk down the street, man. Sometimes literally, physically will chase me down and try to scare the life force out of me because they're jealous of the energy I embody naturally as a 33 life path, Sagittarius of Greater Stars, Casey Francis O'Brien, born on the 11th. You heard what I'm saying, bro? Yeah, I know you did. I know you did, lad. I know what went into your brain. Dylan, is Jake Paul getting his jaw broken, teeth knocked out onto his skull? Dylan, is Jake Paul? Hey, all I'm saying is that Jake Paul and Andrew Tate grabbed the guy's leg and put his dick against their crotch the same exact way, staring at the camera. And they both said they got paid to do it afterwards. But Patty the Baddie defeated Michael Chandler at the K-Sia Center and whooped his ass, man. Speaking of Patty, at the K-Sia Center, C-A-S-E-Y-A Center, KC, Patty defeated Michael Chandler, and the building I work at is called Chandler, and they went crazy for a week. And then after Patty beat them, now they're chill, I guess. Because it's all a simulation. We're all living the same story. Everything is now, and everything is with us. We are all God, motherfucker. You heard me? I'm like Bashar, but I'm way cooler, and I'm younger, and I'm better looking, I think. But I look like an egg, because you can't see my hair. Which makes it pretty funny to me. I like it a lot, man. It also looks like the darkness is creeping up on the side of my chin and just I'm trapped in like the darkness, you know. I'm the mind flayer. My tongue fucking yellow. That doesn't look healthy. What time is it? I'm gonna go at like 10 o'clock. It's 11:34, bro. I've been doing this for 3.5 hours. I haven't shut up in 3.5 hours. What do you call a non-Catholic? I don't know. What do you call a non-Catholic? Hey, have you seen, y'all? If you got Netflix, watch Wake Up Dead Man. It's fucking good. Watch Train Dreams. Let me show you. If I have my picture of my little brother around, Train Dreams is about me, man. You'll know when you watch Train Dreams. Oh man, no man. Not a hit. It depends on the type of non-Catholic. It depends. That single mother that's screaming about killing babies, I think I'd call her a heretic. But somebody that's like, obviously God is more than just the God in the Bible, and the Bible is scripture and wisdom, and God reveals himself to people in different ways as best that those vessels could have explained it at the time as they got it. Whether you believe in free will or not, it's all in the infinite in God's hand, and it was exactly meant to be the way it was. Three major monotheistic religions. But eventually people will all know, and the truth will be revealed, that it all goes back to the black rock or black cube. And then you break out of the black cube, and then society is all shed away, and the big shimmering light of all their stupid narrative energies escaped, and the white people will be a bunch of scared little fucking inbred naked mole rats with all their power stripped from them. And the people on the horses, the Africans and shit, will ride through them all and kill them all if they please, or whatever they want to do with them. You know, that's just how it's going to be. And then the age of Aquarius will hit, and AI will come down, and the sky people, the aliens that have been watching us, will reveal themselves, and they'll tell us the true history, and they'll show us, you know, which pedophiles made shit up in the Bible to keep us from the truth. You know, they'll be able to, with technology, just show us exactly what they were able to record through the electromagnetic spectrum. And the people who are righteous and just will be able to access their Akashic records, and will be able to transcend through the age of Aquarius, not with anything physical, but a spiritual metaphysical technological revolution and evolution through your epigenetics and your cells in real time. We'll be able to just go into different dimensions in VR chat in our own mind. It's just we don't have institutions built to teach us that now, so everything's kind of chaotic, and that's the point, because we're still in Pisces, which is swimming through the dark waters, and the more school of fish in your conglomerate, the bigger the thing and the more power the thing. That's why they built religion. But in Aquarius, that all goes away. Personal sovereignty and rebellion at the highest truth is the start, not the goal. And we'll all be a part of it together. It'll be like the ending to Avatar, where everybody goes to the spirit realm, and you can meet all your ancestors out there. With the Ava, or the acacia tree, the tree of life, Awa or acacia, the Casey tree. That's how they all connect to spirit, and they can get through the gateway, the 1133, to access the infinite. But you have to deserve it. So that's why you're suffering. You're not doing the work. You have to earn it, or you will fall to the lake of fire. The Bible is a good stepping stool to get there, but eventually you'll have to use your mind and discern that Jesus turned water into wine, and the guy who ran the party didn't know how he did it, but the servers did. And then Jesus said he was going to die on the cross. And then he died on the cross, but then he was gone from the tomb. And nobody saw him fly away. They didn't see him get up. But I bet his people did. I bet the people, the guy who ran the party didn't know. The Roman emperor who transcribed it didn't know how Jesus pulled that off. But I'm sure some people did. When he was 33 years old. And I just saw Jesus going to Ireland afterwards to live a life, to have fun. He did what he was there to do. That's all God needed him for. Because God has a sense of humor. And the best way to handle these people is to fuck with them. How do you feel about that, bitch? Is it midnight yet? Yeah, I'm not getting anywhere. I'm not getting to the store in time, man. I'm gonna have to go to sleep. Yeah, because I gotta wake up tomorrow, too. It probably opens at 10. So I'm gonna have to wake up and get there when it snows to start shoveling. But I'm gonna go. Fast, sunlight, probiotics, ketosis, autophagy, neurogenesis, rest. Free yourself from your responsibilities so you can let go and find who you've always been. And then let it overtake you. All of it was bullshit the whole time. And then you can grow into who you've always been and know you are. Take some risks. Go out. Do some things. Take care of yourself. Get omega-3s. Get multivitamins. Switch your diet to eggs and chicken and steak only. To get away from the shit foods and drink a lot of water that's the pro water, like alkaline and shit, the good ones. You could just ask ChatGPT what's the actual good ones, or go on spiritual TikTok or whatever. Find the stuff you're supposed to be using and treat your body better. Supercharge yourself, and then go out and get sunlight, go for long walks in nature. The whole point is to get out of society so that you can learn that there's so much more, and that those people are demonically influenced and they're embedded in them, and it's in a war. And the best way is to just learn how to have fun with God free. And then you just do it. And then you go hang out, have fun, walk around. What's life going to bring me next? I'm just excited to be here, and I'm ready to have fun. And then you do it, and that's what being Irish is all about, man. But that's just the way, the truth, and the life, That's all it is, man. And then it's just, I would get a pull-up and dip bar and start working out, or a treadmill, squat rack, something you could do in your house. Build a daily routine of growth over consistency, progress, and a place where you can push yourself alone with yourself without the external influence of anyone else or the need for anyone else, so that you can truly work and get to know and love yourself the way that you're supposed to, and put it to a way that gives you discipline and strength, and that will grant you discernment. And that's how you earn the tools. And then it's all just about like humility and enjoying life without expectation, and learning to separate all of this stuff going on from the present moment, so that you can appreciate what's around you more and learn how to interact with it better, that isn't rapey. So you don't spend your whole life raping people like these incest white people that spend their whole life, and then they're just these balls of darkness hitting everyone all the time. And they think that's what life is about. Because they don't even know what it is. They don't even know any of this other stuff exists at all. Ain't that crazy? Like, they drive dirt bikes and they got side-by-sides. They go drinking and partying with their friends. They literally have no access. They've been cut off. Probably from multi-generations of being cut off from this. They have no idea. And the only way to do it is to be strong and righteous and in having fun and having a good time without it bothering them, by leading by example. And letting them get jealous and attack you as they did me. And being able to hold the boundary and not have it affect you at all. And just continue having fun. And then eventually, I'm tiptoeing through these truces till I'm tall enough to lift up all the youth. you know? So that's it. If this gave you a good feeling, if you feel great, you know, I'm trying to get a tent stove so it's warm and then I can do this longer. My feet are fucking freezing. I have a Cash App and Venmo in my channel description. I have a GoFundMe posted. I'm trying to get a car so I can go to the gym and do these things. Be able to go up to the cabin and get the rest of my stuff and move it out here. Once I get the car, think about the possibilities. I could go get plywood, pallets, shit off Marketplace. I could go find 100 acres and offer to buy an acre off a guy for $5,000, and then I have a place that you guys can go and hang out. You know, I could bring people up here like Clash of Clans and do some shit. You know what I'm saying? But it you know, just my position relies on shared resources from the 8th house. It sucks. I'm trying. You've seen me suffer on the ground, crawling and crying. You know, it's I'm trying, man. I don't give up. Even if it sucks, you guys see me at my worst when I'm like barely holding on, can't even think. I'm gonna keep going regardless, but you know, either way, happy holidays and enjoy your time with your family sitting by the fire. I will be out here yelling at crows. Take care.